konnichiwa minasan, or as you can see, it's konbanwa minasan. I'm in the country again and it's already night time. Selamat datang diucapkan untuk anda yang mengikuti sesi secara langsung dan juga anda yang menonton setelah live stream ini berakhir ke sesi kolaborasi stomachofchaos.com bersama laman pop culture suka ramai BuzzPopTV. Seperti biasa, saya Kudo Maharizu dari laman blog stomachofchaos.com bersama para panelis dari BuzzPop akan memberi reaksi dan ulasan season finale Hell's Paradise atau Jigokuraku episod 6 ke-13. So that's gonna be a few episodes that we're gonna look at yang disiarkan di laman streaming Netflix setiap malam Ahad. So bersama saya panelis malam ini, just like what it was when we had episode 1 hingga 5, is Anri Alwi, let's see what he is today, anime MILF connoisseur, dan juga isekai waifu hunter as usual. How are you tonight?
I'm fine. I hope you're doing well. Tell your wife I said hello. Your mom, I'll be late later tonight. And your sister, get my money ready. I want that trap full, baby.
Right, nasib baik ada R15. Dan juga Mudir balik, our Kaki Kayu, and yeah, that's his IG whole. How are you?
Fine, thank you. So, I hope you guys have been enjoying the anime, the story as much as I have.
Yes, I have.
And I will encourage you guys to, kepada fans yang menonton sekarang ni kan, if you haven't read the manga yet, please do, because some of the artworks in the manga tu susah nak replicate in the anime. You guys should check it out.
Yeah, although I have a couple of surprises when I was doing the screen grabs from the anime itself, and I was like, because this laju sangat, and then when I grabbed it, I was like, whoa, wait a second, that looks familiar, but I will show you to you in a bit though. So untuk makluman anda yang belum pernah mengikuti sesi ulasan kami, perbincangan kami, seperti biasa akan mengandungi spoilers, so yang berkait dengan obviously whatever episode that we're discussing. Dan juga kepada anda yang menonton sesi ini setelah live stream berakhir, sila langgan kepada laman YouTube STOMACHOFCHAOS dan BuzzPopTV supaya anda tidak ketinggalan untuk menonton live stream kami yang akan datang, dan jangan lupa tenyeh butang like. Tapi just as an add-on, saya dah lama tak buat ni, so we're going to do a bit of a anime NEWSBITES, di mana kita akan have a quick look at what's happened this past weekend di Los Angeles, Amerika Syarikat, which is Anime Expo 2023. So Anime Expo ni adalah sebuah anime convention yang dianjurkan setiap tahun oleh Society for the Promotion of Japanese Animation, SPJA, yang ianya sebuah anime con yang terbesar di Amerika Syarikat, selalunya di hujung minggu pertama bulan Julai setiap tahun. So tahun ni dari hari Sabtu itu 1 bulan sampai ke semalam 4 bulan Julai, dan ianya bertempat dari Los Angeles Convention Center. So biasanya pretty much it's the biggest anime con, so it's going to be filled with cosplayers. Pada anda yang pernah pergi di mana-mana con di Malaysia sekarang ni, seperti Nijigen ke mana-mana ke, they got cosplayers, they got tradespeople selling anime related merchandise, from figures to whatever lah, art, lebih like independent artists. But tapi obviously this is LA and this is connected to the big wigs. You have people from Japan coming in from the industry. They're also promoting their new anime films or TV programs, and they will also, depending on the IP, have people like the actual producers or IP creators, mangakas, and seiyuu. So for tonight, for this next few minutes, I'm not going to talk about everything because it's kind of pointless. Tapi nak saja discuss benda-benda yang ada kait sikit lah dengan apa yang pernah dibincang dan mungkin akan dibincang secara live stream oleh our STOMACHOFCHAOS dan BuzzPop collaboration. So seperti biasa, kita ada anime screenings. So, for example, tahun ni kita ada sneak peek of the anime screening of Zom 100. Saya dan Anri pernah kita orang dah cover sikit dalam what to expect for summer 2023 season anime. For the sneak peek anime screening tu, the mangaka for the Zom 100 came around as well to talk about the IP Takata Kotaro. So kepada anda yang minat nak cuba baca Zom 100, it's available in good bookstores in KL. Like semalam saya pergi Kino, pretty much they've got all the volumes that's available over there yang bahasa Inggeris. So lagi satu benda yang paling look forward was ada dua benda dari ni. Netflix J content presentation. Ada beberapa lagi series dia discuss, including Beastars final season akan tapi satu benda lagi is Pluto. Now Pluto is a manga that is done by Urasawa Naoki. Pada anda yang pernah membaca Urasawa Sensei punya other works include 20th Century Boys, for example, he's a very good mangaka. And then the beauty about Pluto is it's actually based on 2 chapters of a manga by Tezuka Osamu back then in the 60s or 70s. Kalau anda nak cari nama cerita dia, I think the greatest robot in the world or something like that ada kat YouTube, black and white, tapi tak ada subtitles, tapi tengok boleh faham lah. So basically he approached the Tezuka estate. He wanted to do it adaptation, and it was difficult because dia tak nak recreate balik. Pada anda yang pernah tengok Astro Boy, rambut tajam-tajam semua tu, macam mana dia lukis, it's very dated looking. He's done it very well, and just like to make a big twist, Maruyama Masao, boss kepada studio M2, dia ni one of the founding members of Madhouse Studios dan juga MAPPA. He founded MAPPA, then he left MAPPA to what it is now, and he made Studio M2, and this is a labor of love for the past 10 years. Dalam Maruyama turn up at the ni, and anda boleh tengok ni di YouTube. So pretty much I'll not show the Netflix panel for this because obviously nanti kita kena apa orang dia copyright. So anyway,
but we also showed it already. Have you seen the trailer?
No, I showed it in our WhatsApp group.
Oh really?
No. The discussion. No. This is the big one. This only happened a couple of days ago.
I thought we saw a trailer of Pluto.
Wait. So don't jump the gun yet. So we had a teaser trailer without suara. Now we have the suara. So anyway, which I'm going to show in a couple of seconds. So it spent 10 years. And like one kelakar thing about what Maruyama said was that I think I am a masochist because I want to suffer as much as Urasawa suffered when he tried to adapt the original story. So, but it's done it very well. Oh, he did mention that he enjoyed the Netflix collab due to the fact that he had more freedom lah. He had more freedom in doing this. Okay, kita tengoklah sekejap. Basically this trailer. The strokes macam Urasawa stroke in the manga, man. Aku macam this I have to watch. Really have to watch. Okay. One thing about this name. Other news about the what you call it. IP is that they'll be in 8 episodes. Each episode 60 minit panjangnya. So manga dia 8 volume. So whether or not we're going to have 1 volume per episode, what is going to be 8 hours. So if they're going to dump all 8 hours down, because kami akan intend to discuss about this in October, fall season. So it's going to be Munif, if you want to talk about this, we have to plan in advance that you need to be able to get a couple of hours on the weekend, man. No, either we do it in one shot of 8 hours worth of stuff. Knowing you and Jamal, we're going to talk like crazy, but I don't know. I got a feeling they might dump all that 8 episodes lah. Kalau macam what they did with Cyberpunk. This is really exciting as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, yes.
It really
Netflix is going to dump every 8 episode on the single day. And if you want to actually have a talk and review about this, right? I don't think it will do justice for us to
do 2 sessions.
Do it, 1 or 2 sessions lah. I think I think Netflix should learn how to release like what the other platforms are doing lah, like Prime or whatever, what episode every week lah.
Yeah.
1 hour of Pluto, right? It's going to be a heavy episode lah, regardless of anything lah.
Yeah,
I think orang overwhelmed nanti.
Orang will be overwhelmed. Tapi the thing is, I mean, obviously for people like myself and Munif who's read the stuff, will probably. I don't think I will have time to sit down for 8 hours to watch everything. I mean, unless it's a weekend and I'm bored shitless. But well, there's something to look forward to lah. But I'm not saying that we have to like bedah every single inch. I mean, we could boil it down to concepts and stuff, and have a discussion. You know, like so much so that. I mean, Anri and I, we've done what you call it, Chainsaw Man. I don't even do questions. We just like, let's go with the flow lah. And it's easy. It's really easy when you really like the subject. But it'll be pretty nice to include somebody in the panel who's not read it, because otherwise it'll be a. I'm not saying
I haven't read it, but I'm interested in it. I hope Munif and Jamal can join us.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, we're going to have a Munif Jamal +1. So, Anri, if you want to join in,
I hope Munif and Jamal can, argue a bit. So, I could at least.
They will.
So at least add to the fire lah.
I mean, yeah, not in a boxing match kind of thing. Tapi but you know lah. Okay, let's get on with it.
An intellectual one. Yeah. Boleh?
But it is. I mean, it's a well-written story. Swear to God. I mean, it's got a lot of things to talk about. I mean, aku baca blooming. I cannot imagine what it would be like when we watch it, man, in October. Anyway, so and among two other IPs that they did mention, Anri, I don't know whether you knew about this. Zom 100 has a live action coming out in October.
I think in our group I actually mentioned that they're going to release this season, right? The anime and the live action. The live action looks like a live action movie. A compilation of maybe a few episodes or maybe the whole season. I'm not sure. Like maybe
I'm like, okay, all right. I mean, I'm like quite surprised actually. So I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, that's a very bold thing to do, tau, because you're actually fishing at the same spot twice at the same time. Okay, and of course the other thing that I'm gonna have to mention here is One Piece. So they did a One Piece live action session, but what I'm going to show here, some people may have seen it, but this is an excerpt from because this is the only bit that I can get subs for, because when I had received the Twitter from the tweet from Netflix Japan, they're bagi link YouTube just for this one. There was no subtitle, but it's got subtitles for basically kalau dia cakap English, it'll be in Japanese. If what they say is Japanese, it'll be in English. So it'll be quite. I felt a bit macam when I watched it, I felt like I don't know, because okay, this is the difference. Saya dah cakap beberapa kali, saya tak baca dan tengok One Piece. Doesn't mean I'm saying I hate it. It's because I was introduced to it very late and I don't have the time to follow it. But and I jokingly told my One Piece friends friends who are fans in BuzzPop saying, tak apalah, aku tengok ni dulu, mana tahu lepas ni aku boleh baca manga dia kan. But that's not a joke. I mean, if it's meant to attract the normies like myself on One Piece wise, then it has worked. Anyway, here we go.
Podcast of One Piece, and we have some exciting news to share with you. Recently, I took a trip to Tokyo where I met the one and only Mayumi Tanaka. It was such an amazing experience to meet the original voice of Luffy. She's been voicing.
Hari Merdeka.
At least they put in the effort lah to make it work.
We enjoy.
One Piece, let's go! Woo!
Yeah, let me just cancel that bit. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying?
At least they're making the effort lah.
They put the effort too. Yeah.
Try to get this thing launched properly lah. I just hope they don't turn Nami into a lesbian like they did with Faye lah, for no reason.
I hope not lah. Let's hope not lah. I mean, macam God knows lah. Nobody even attempted to do a Cowboy Bebop bedah when it came out, because I think when we saw it, I mean, Nick was like, no way, we're not wasting our time. So this bit, saya sebagai
I think we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
at least the first part lah.
Not Animo Division lah. Korang.
Yeah.
So whether or not One Piece live action will be picked up by Nick, it's up to Nick lah. But if you want me to pick it up, I'll be the normie who's just watched the live action.
I'll be the guy who watched the anime and the manga lah. Right. Basically, I followed.
Yeah, that'll be pretty much everybody else in the panel though. So
yeah.
But we'll see lah how. So we'll let Nick. So just a quick one. So basically, apart from the Netflix stuff, we got several sessions with a panel. For example, with Toho Animation, which does Spy Family, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, MAPPA, and there was a Spy Family panel specifically with Eguchi Takuya, the voice actor for Lloyd Forger, and they probably, I think they talked about Code White, the upcoming film yang akan disiarkan 22 bulan Disember, dan juga ada sebuah session panel yang panel istimewa untuk Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer yang organised by Aniplex USA, with Hanae Natsuki, voice actor untuk Tanjiro Kamado, dan juga Kawanishi Kenji, voice actor untuk Muichiro, in attendance. Dan juga there was a Bleach 1000 Year Blood War panel with the voice actor untuk Morita Masakazu, the voice actor for Ichigo. Pretty much dalam Bleach-nya tu pun nothing that we do not know about. I think we've shown the trailer before. Dan juga as usual, premieres abound. So there was a premiere for the new rebooted Rurouni Kenshin anime. And again, they brought so basically, this is post-COVID, and this is the second anime expo yang had people coming across. Last year they had opened it to the public, but this year, because since Jepun dah betul-betul dah buka borders diorang, so diorang macam all these Japanese bands coming to Europe and America to play gigs, and now you get all these actors like lepas geram semua, lompat semua pergi. So even for so basically we have Saito Soma, voice of Himura Kenshin, and Takahashi Rie, voice for Kamiya Kaoru, in attendance. There were premieres for Undead Murder Fast. We covered this in dengan bersama Anri dalam what anime to watch in summer 23, dan juga film premiere untuk Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out, which is one of the sequels to what you call it, Awabuta, which is Bunny Rascal, which was a few years back already lah. I'm just going to give you a quick look at it. Oh, that's the wrong one. So this is concentrating on the younger sister. Tu dah, ya, gambar. Same time, it's got few concepts that's a bit weird. And also they did premieres for Eminence in the Shadow for the second season, and I'm sure Anri's covered this before as one of the what anime to watch last year, dan juga a few other titles yang licensed by Crunchyroll. So basically,
also need to mention is the reboot for Spice and Wolf.
Oh,
a lot of people love it. Yeah.
After 16 years, so
16 years. Spice and Wolf lah.
Yeah. Okay, I
actually look forward to this than Rurouni Kenshin now. Spice and Wolf.
Because I've never watched the first one, so I don't really know lah. But I'm aware of the characters as a anime figurine collector. So anyway, so let's see. We've got a few comments. Hello, Category the Great. Yes, Pluto, Atom. Yes, basically in response to the what you call it, the preview just now. Mofa lama dah nantikan Pluto ni, akhirnya yes. Memang. I mean, the fact that it looks good, and the way that they're doing it, which is like the 8 hour-long episodes, which should fit every single manga volume, does wonders. I can't remember whether I think all the manga volumes were all of equal thickness. Dia tak ada macam kan sometimes satu tebal satu nipis. You're quite right.
But one thing I want to mention with Pluto, right? It gives me a great sense of hope kan that Netflix can put up their anime game because they are releasing Pluto. Pluto is like an epic in the manga punya, universe tau. Fandom universe tau. I hope they can follow up kan by giving this more great titles lah. One thing I want to see done kan on by Netflix kan and the big budget is Akira the series, not ikut movie tapi ikut the manga.
Ikut the manga. That'd be quite interesting because the thing is
6 books
yes,
they
have a lot.
Enam. The movie actually was based on the first volume only, and even then pun dia macam twist sikit. Dan correct me if I'm wrong though, the movie was done by the mangaka or directed Otomo Katsuhiro, who actually did the manga. So, but they have to approach him lah, whether he's still alive or not. Aku tak ingat, kena look it up. Mofa again, he said lama dah baca manga ni, tak sangka dan dia akhirnya dia dah buat anime. Actually macam saya tak tahu pasal manga ni until Munir when Jamal from BuzzPop kind of mention it, and I was like, oh okay. And then mula-mula aku macam tengok sekejap, wait a sec, and then aku beli terus dekat Amazon all 8.
Nice.
I've read it all. So Jamal kata make sure you read. Don't worry man, I've read it a long time ago when we were discussing about this early on in the year, didn't we? So Catherine the Great patutlah nampak banyak sangat revelation semua chapter dia letak. Okay, I'm not too sure which bit you're talking about, but anyway, so Mofa has said menariknya Pluto ni robot dia macam dalam cerita Doraemon je tapi rasa seram sejuk bila baca manga dulu. Lagi tu just to add to what Mofa said, saya sedangkan you don't have to buy it if you don't want to because Osamu Tezuka punya Astro Boy banyak dia punya volume. So at the moment even kalau you nak collect dia punya omnibus pun itu pun banyak. Omnibus tebal macam ni. Would be kalau beli kat Malaysia RM200 at the very least. Tapi cerita Pluto ni dalam volume pertama ada 2 chapter dalam volume pertama. Bayangkan 2 chapter ni dijadikan 8 volume oleh Urasawa based on the story. Kau bayangkan korang yang saya cakap lukisan semua kartun macam Mickey Mouse, hidung besar semua, tapi cerita dia ada weight. Dia bukan cerita bodoh. Apa ni? Drama live action, okay, category The Great, Netflix original. Apa ni? Oh, hey, Mementoys and Hobby. Hello, I've not seen you before. Selamat datang. Banyak rupanya panelis BuzzPop. Kalau sekumpul semua orang boleh buat satu kelas Nick jadi ketua. we are everywhere. Okay, MN Syafiq, Luffy Netflix kening tebal. Yeah, I think that's the least of our worries at the moment, but we'll see. And Bani Senpai was the last comment by category The Great. So again, anyway, so we've done about 20 odd minutes now already. So I think let's get to business. To the story at hand, which is Jigokuraku. Let's see, mana aku punya ni. Let's get this out of the way, and kita mulakan dengan Anyway, I have to admit, by the time kita tengok episode 5, and then after that aku balik ke after my holidays aku tengok. I felt it was getting a bit draggy. Like, okay, where are they going? But
exactly,
then, but there is a payoff. So there is a good payoff. So arah tuju sebab saya punya satu ayat lah, arah tuju semakin ketara di 5 episod terakhir musim ini. So we are talking about 8 episodes from 6 until 13. So pretty much from 6, 7, 8, yeah, kind of 8 to 9 episode 8, 9. Lepas tu macam nampaklah banyak sikit. What do you think about this? Munif, reaksi satu ayat from you.
reaksi
And then
satu ayat tu.
you have to you have to try to not to tinge your comments. I mean, you have to come out as somebody who has read it, but go ahead. You know.
I'll try that balance lah. Yeah. So reaksi satu ayatku is simple lah. Let's go. Tu reaksi satu ayat dia. Sebab itulah macam Kudo cakap lah tadi, at some point dia memang felt a bit draggy. Even when I was reading the manga pun dia macam where they going? So what's going on with this kan? Tapi lepas tu macam kita bedah sebelum ni, and then when you first time nampak the monster kat pulau kan, you're like, wah, okay, what the hell is going on kan? Lepas tu okay, maybe they start after that initial shock, they drag a bit lagi. Tapi lepas tu they start reveal this, you know, human characters tapi yang gila juga, and then masuk the tension apa semua tu, cakap let's go. This is where it starts. So
Yep. Anri, your reaksi satu ayat after what we had.
My reaksi satu ayat is basically as I watch it in the middle part, right, it become a chore tau. It was dragging, but the last few episodes business picked up basically. I do not know what's the problem. I think it's suffering the same thing like God of High School. It comes to pacing tau. I think cara dia lay out the story progression kan, it's a bit uneven. I know there's a lot of characters, a lot of things happening on the island in 2-3 days. But the way they do it kan, it's not effective lah to keep us hyped up throughout the whole series lah.
Oops. Okay, let's sementara tu there's a comment from category the great. In his opinion, he felt that there is a good setup. Yeah, it was a good setup, but the thing is, it did feel like we had to wait for a while before it happened.
If I may add to that lah, since Anri tengah sangkut ni, is that as someone yang of course macam dah habis baca the manga kan, and sekarang ni tengah follow the anime pula, aku can safely say the part yang kita rasa draggy apa semua tu, which aku pun memang rasa even during baca and during tonton, I felt the same thing. But here's the thing, that will be the last time you will feel that anything is draggy about the show. Sebab memang dia took the time untuk buat dia punya setup, and ada certain things yang dia nampak macam dia menendering sikit, but it's actually for a reason. So you will see that reason and the payoff as we go lah. Tapi pasal buat draggy tu, this is the last time you feel draggy, because from here on, once the tension ni dah muncul, memang dia can get into high gear. It's just basically rumble in the jungle, survival on the island.
Okay. Just to quickly mention to I guess while we wait for Anri, saya ada semua 13 jilid, tapi saya tak baca because saya ingat masa tu tak sempat nak baca, so I was thinking I'll just join the anime only group. But I think I have only read the first volume today and not read anything else. But yeah, reaksi satu ayat. I mean, just to ni, memang saya nak cakap pasal benda ni. So sementara Anri come anyway, I'm going to talk about this now as opposed to later before we do the next segment. Just to be quick round up kepada obviously this is our first live stream for Jigokuraku was pretty much in May. About 2 months ago. So basically episode 1 ke 5, the basic premise of the story is about a shinobi nama Gabimaru the Hollow yang dihukum bunuh kerana I think he was he framed, or basically his clan just put a price on his head and he's meant to for leaving the clan or whatever it was, so dia patut dihukum bunuh. And di waktu itu Shogun menggunakan satu clan samurai bernama Yamada Saemon. They are all samurai, tapi dia orang pun kira algojo atau executioner, so they pretty much do the job of beheading all the criminals and all that. So came to a point that actually dia orang cakap kat Gabi Baru, okay, we can actually pardon you provided you find this elixir of life, atau this satu ramuan ajaib untuk memanjangkan umur, and which is supposed to be found on an island nama Shinsenkyo. Tapi the thing is, they collected a bunch of hardcore criminals, put them in one sort to get them across to the island, but being said the sadists they are, because ramai sangat orang, they did a battle royale, so they were killing each other to finally limit the number of people that they bring. So they finally got a bunch of people after that battle royale. Before they left for the island, they all check out. The people that managed to come back from the island had this weird thing. They had flowers growing from their eye sockets and like shit. Some of them were still alive, but they were like. So the kelakar thing is, when they got to the island, there was another battle royale. They were still killing each other. So there was a bunch of. So basically, all these criminals, dia orang ada satu algojo dengan dia orang. So so Gabi Baru had a girl called Sagiri. So did everybody else. So I think the bit yang Anri and I felt a bit bored was in the first few episodes after they landed on the island. There was a bit of extended battle. I mean, it's peppered with how people were trying to kill each other again, plus the first introduction to the weird creatures they found on the island. So anyway, so we got that out of the way. So pretty much episode 5 was just about that bit, and now from episode 6 onwards, we are going forward. So Anri. Oh shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, mate. Yeah. Okay, your reaction to it.
Oh, didn't you hear me just now?
No, because you were
dengar.
Oh yeah.
Habiskan.
Let's see satu ayat.
Did you give one? I can't remember.
Oh,
Yeah. You say you felt it was dragging a bit.
Okay. And
that was how I feel. But this is satu ayat kan. I'm like,
okay.
Maybe the word is okay lah, because what the fuck? Then good, okay. Yeah. It dropped the ball lah. At the middle part. So I'm gonna say lah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else from chat. Allah, chat ni daripada. Of that, I've been getting all these weird comments which
spam.
Tak apalah, nanti kita buang. Anyway, let's get on to the next section. So because kita dah 8 episode chapters, some of it I'm gonna do like combination of 2 chapters with 1 question or whatever lah, because there seems to be like a recurring theme. So I'll try my best to do it. So let's go to the first bit, which is episode 6 dan 7. Okay. Episode 6 adalah Heart and Reason, Kokoro to Kotowari, dan episode 7 adalah Flowers and Offerings, Hana to Ne. Essentially, di 2 episode ni, episode 6 is just a follow-up of episode 5, di mana this is the tail end of this bunch of people trying to get through the island to find this elixir of life and getting rid of the competition. Sometimes bukan dia orang nak actively rid of the competition comes to them, and killing people in the process. So sayunya soalan ni lah, I've called it killing giants. Okay, metaphorically, whether it's a criminal, in which, as you see at the top, there is Sagiri, Asaimo Sagiri, di mana dia ni, kalau kita tengok dalam 5 episod yang pertama, dia ni macam ada, can we call it an existential crisis or something like that? Because she's not too sure of herself. Okay, so adakah dia akan be more assertive with herself in trying to do her job as a samurai and executioner? And then di waktu ini kita nak tengoklah dia punya resolve melawan satu daripada prisoner yang dibawa, which is a giant guy called Rokurota. Dia ni badan besar tapi kepala dia macam budak. Dan episod 7 memberi kita a first glimpse to the kata episod dalam episod 1 hingga 5 kita dah nampak monster-monster yang pelik-pelik tu, tapi kali ni kita dah nampak this not so pelik but creatures and which look harmless but they are not. So just and I metaphorically I've called them giants as well. So anyway, pandangan dan pendapat anda, let's just talk about Sagiri here. Anri, what do you think of road to assertiveness by this time?
I think it's being played out too much and too often now. They're dragging out her existential crisis punya issue too much now, which doesn't make that much sense to me as a non-manga reader. Yeah, because you see a lot of women who actually dedicate themselves to a particular cause, especially the way of the bushi, right, the warrior, right. They wouldn't consider themselves women anymore. They would consider themselves warrior first, then whatever gender belakang tau. So for her to become this good, this skilled, right, and still have this existential crisis, kan, it's just for the sake of plot now, you know. They're just making her weak at this point just for her to have her moment of revelation and become a bigger hero than she was compared to the last few episodes. It is one of the things that dragged the series down. Chainsaw Man suffered from the same thing tau, but at least kan they had a lot of surprises in store to make it come back. This thing had a few of its own, but it's still a chore even after episode 10 actually for me.
Munif, I would like to add also, I mean, as much as I can see Andri's point, but I mean, she didn't exactly she didn't want to do this in the first place, or what? I can't remember exactly. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, like for me, but even when I was reading the manga dulu, and then I actually got reminded when I watched the anime is that this part of Sagiri was one of the things yang memang that kind of like dragged the pace of the show down, kan? Sebab kita tengok all these crazy giants and crazy monsters, and macam during your introduction you have this existential crisis. And then macam kau dah sampai pulau ni pun your heart and mind is still in stasis. Macam like cukup lah tu kan. At the very least jump into survival mode or something tau.
Survival mode.
Kan at the very least kalau whatever your mind is unsure, but then your instincts should at least kick in, because you still are a warrior yang dah behead ramai orang tau. But yeah, so the feeling is mutual with Andy, memang sebiji. And aku pun speculated then ni mesti is like forced drama, so that nanti dia akan tiba-tiba at the end ada dia punya moment of triumph suddenly when it's opportune and convenient. That's when you embrace your destiny, jadi fully confident or something kan, which aku punya assumption juga, but it's not that. As aku proceeded to sort of at the height of the story and even until the end game, man, that's when you will look back at even all these draggy parts and everything, and you realize what they were actually setting up in the first place. Because why I'm so passionate again about this IP is that because they memang bukan that typical punya show. This overemphasize on her dilemma, there's a reason, and the reason is not just simply overcoming that shit, because this is not that kind of story. Macam aku cakap during kita bedah the episodes 1 to 5 tu pun, if you want to kind of understand what this show is about, read up a bit on Taoism, or even the concept of itulah macam yin yang and balance apa semua tu kan, that actually plays a big part in not just in the power system or power scaling or whatever, but also in the characterizations of these people and how they resolve whatever it is that they need to resolve internally. So aku agree ke, at this point of time the feeling is mutual, but boy did they surprise me. I look back and I now see why this had to be stirred a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, obviously, in the next bit of the chapter was obviously what I just flashed just now, which is the introduction of these two creatures. I'll give them a name lah. It's kind of pointless to not say it because it's of no consequence anyway. So before this, they saw these two beings in the middle of buat kerja rumah. The blonde is called Jufa, and the pink-haired one is called Taufa. So at this time we don't even know what they are. But unlike the weird creatures that we saw, which were like grotesque, like human beings with legs coming out of their eyes, or fishmen, or like insects or whatever. They look human, and they can. Did they do any transformation of the genders? Masa dia tunjuk kan that they can change. So
taking gender fluidity literally.
Exactly. So I don't think this is an allegory to the current. I don't know lah. to the current see that we see on social media. But basically, these two characters were encountered by Chobe, the guy with one eye, and his brother Toma, who's, for those who tak ingat, Toma ni adik dia, tapi he actually infiltrated the Yamada Salmon and became a executioner himself. So pretty much he accompanying his brother. But so they got a shock lah, thinking that they could dispatch these creatures. But anyway, pandangan dan pendapat anda, we'll go back to Munif.
Okay, for me, this part also kind of like level up the anime and the manga for me lah. When I first encountered this scene, pasal apa tau? Sebab looking back, and they really took us on a roller coaster ride. Kalau di awal-awal, you see like Gamibaru absolutely trashing all these criminal morons, macam OP gila dia kan. So I was like, is this gonna be that kind of anime, that kind of manga where the main character is just so freaking OP, is gonna steamroll everyone? Lepas tu, tiba-tiba then you had the battle with the giant of Bizen tu. Tiba lawan giant tu macam Gamibaru dah nak mati je. Kalau tak tag team memang dia kalah pun. Exactly. So suddenly, wow. So I guess among the hardened criminals memang ada yang actually match, and it's actually superior to Gamibaru pun. And then kita tengok, tiba-tiba ada macam like this like really really tinggi kaiju size monsters, and then the regular size monsters. So like, what the hell is going on kan? And then ditunjuk, but these crazy humans yang gila somehow boleh take out some of these monsters lah benda semua. And then suddenly you end up with a flowery setting. You see two humanoid looking pretty people like getting it on, and tiba macam yang ni pula yang power level yang melampau pula kan. So macam sampai sih it's like you don't know what to believe anymore. You don't know where is the power level, where does things stand. Everything is dangerous now because of this, and so. And then they're like talking to them like, ni human this, human that. Wait, korang ni bukan human ke? So macam what the hell is going on kan? And I'm like encountering this scene, and aku macam, I feel like I want to like this too, but is this where the journey ends? Because you also that also gets you wondering pasal apa? Because the first rank Asayamon just like got killed at the freaking beach. So you're like, whoa. What is going on now? It's anxiety. It's like you don't know who will die at any time. You don't know who's strongest and in whatever point of time. And when they introduced the tension, it just heightened the tension for me. And And do remember, at this point, we still don't know what the hell is going on now.
Yeah,
if the objective of the elixir is still, does it even exist or not? And then you just thrown with a mountain of questions, and whatever your characters that you're rooting for are in complete danger. So I remember this part very vividly.
Yeah, because for me, I mean, when Toma got thrown into that pit, half dead, and you could see what's adorning the wall of the pit. Then you can have so at least one question is now answered: where these people with flowers came from. So, but again, it still doesn't explain a lot of things. But anyway, Anri will not leave you out from this. If you got anything to add to this about?
When I saw the Tencent and I saw them change gender very fluidly, right? I already have an idea kind of what the elixir is already now. Because in a lot of legends kan, even in Korean punya cerita kan, macam Kingdom kan, there's always a story about this man who found out this magical plant and then they eat it and they either get sick or they live into a cursed life. Or I got immortality, but I'm a flesh-eating zombie now, or I'm immortal, but now I'm like a demon. I need to feed on the life force of others now. And as more episode goes right, dia jumpa dengan apa that good guy, right? Apa memang confirm dah, they mention what Tencent is, how the island works. I personally I think those two Toma dengan abang dia kan jumpa this Tencent, let's say what it is, broman kan. Maybe it's just for the sake of plot, but it's too convenient. The Tencent looks like they're very highly in tune when it comes to dia punya macam terms of combat strength lah. I'm pretty sure they can hear those two coming lah, but they didn't do so anyway. Maybe because these two memang not a threat to them.
So no consequence.
No consequence. Actually, I think they did say you cannot kill us, and then. But I have to admit kan, the way they present the Tensei kan, it's a bit how you say, dull. They don't have that much of a character design. In terms of character design kan, it's not that much varied tau. Macam if you watch a Dragon Slayer, right, you saw the upper moons punya a circle of demons kan. They're very in shape and size and design tau. But the Tencent kan, they look like a bunch of jambus kan, or wearing robes for some reason now. I know maybe it's because they're trying to play off from the androgynous non-gender changing punya characters, but they could have at least make one of them old, or one of them macam very angry looking all the time. That's just how it is, even though he's not angry. Put some effort. But now you have one guy who looks like he's enthralled with this one character, and then this one dia macam jealous of the character. It's just when it comes to macam facial expression, and that's how they differentiate each other now. And there's not much of a design difference. So I have to say that I was disappointed with the character design. But for what the Tencent is, right, I was actually okay with it now. We know that the Tencent are a race of powerful beings that rule the island. They look like it, they act like it. So in a sense, it succeeded for what it is, but it could have done better.
Before I'm sure Munir is dying to say something, but actually masa aku dah buat the preparing for this session, you can't help accidentally seeing some stuff, and then you go like,
oh yeah, no nipples.
Okay, that's not what I meant, but the thing is, I've not read the manga further on, so if there were any of those, I would gladly see them in the upcoming Blu-ray or DVD version. But before I touch on that aspect of it, there is, I think there is a reason why they look alike. And I think Munif is going to not in agreement.
I mean,
why they are physically alike, all 7 of them. There is a reason.
Yeah.
I know there's a reason. The Kayu thing explained. But you see, right, if you belong to one source, right, and you split yourself into multiple source, right, mini source, you look a little bit different now. Macam your lust looks a bit better, looks sultry, your angle looks big, threatening.
Yeah, the differences unfortunately is subtle, and it's not the physical. The physical aspect is also different in certain aspects as well, and but you have to bear in mind, you cannot do it's apples and oranges. You want to compare it with anything else, because my argument is for Kimetsu no Yaiba. Well, you have
okay,
a variable degree of a variable appearance of all the demons, because they are all individual people from other sources. You know, kau dapat mamak gemuk, dia gemuk lah. Dapat mamak tua, dia tua lah.
Here's the thing, when it comes to macam Eastern punya mystics kan, if you see what the Japanese, Chinese, Koreans kan drew the punya mystic or sage characters, right, like from Penglai or Kunlun, whatever this kan, they always have kan an old man with long mustache and some pot belly, and then some guy ada apa macam very beautiful, macam Buddha-ish looks. You know, they different all the sages now. I thought they go for that aesthetics now, but no.
But the thing is, again, I will disagree with you, because if they were looking like that, and I have to put that in the first panel, I'll take that first panel off. Gambar kat atas tu.
Okay.
Janggut. Anyway.
I mean, the only thing I will add to this is this discussion about how they look, which is memang is one of the one of the criticisms about the character design. Actually, like you mentioned, there is an explanation to it, but there's an explanation that even actually goes beyond what the si Hoko yang kepala kayu tu explain lah sebenarnya. There's a more in-depth reason. But having said that, I understand the dullness in the homogeneity though. That's a legit complaint, faham? Even though that's the theme, the story, and the other reasonings, but I will give you an olive branch, in that, let's just say those famous words, in that this not even my final form, and whatever that is, you want diversity, you're gonna get crazy diversity.
Okay.
Okay, the woke people will be happy with this. Okay, before we go on to the next episode,
would it be funny, right, if the English dub version kan, this dancer kan introduce themselves kan, hi, my name is apa nama this guy, my name is Tencent Samuel Chufa. My pronouns are they, them. Z, she, Faye,
he, him, whatever. Anyway, so we got a couple of comments from okay, let's see. Wan Faris, Tencent ni karakter dia berasa terlampau perfect, sebab tu dia tak berkumpul sangat dengan Tencent yang lain. I hope that's not a spoiler, but Munif?
What, for that first question or this one?
For that one yang tadi tu.
Okay,
this one. Tencent ni karakter dia berasa terlampau perfect, sebab tu tak berkumpul sangat dengan Tencent yang lain.
Let's just say one of the reasons for dia punya homogeneity juga is is pasal the concept of reaching the human perfection or beyond human lah, so to speak. I'll just leave it as that. Is that you know, that whole perfection thing and that whole coming from the same source thing, there can ada more layers to it, which will make their initial appearance here make sense.
Okay, Tencent ni memang kena. Okay, we'll talk about that later, because that will be mentioned anyway by this character called the Deshi. And Wan Faris got a couple more questions. Korang tengok tak lagi trailer Isekai Suicide Squad, but I have seen it, I liked it, but as a person who like anime and I don't give a monkeys about DC characters, so I'll leave it to the two of you who watch comics. I don't care. Go ahead. What do you think?
Anime did DC right now. I think the first thing that I really like from Japan that did for DC was Batman's that
Samurai Batman I like.
Not Samurai Batman, before that the Batman punya apa what's the first DC the collection of a DC short stories on Batman punya first year.
Tak tahu.
There was a DC anime on Batman before the samurai thing.
I do not know. Anyway,
they do okay work for DC when it comes to anime.
Okay, Samurai Batman, I would agree. I enjoyed it as well. So, Munif, you got any thoughts on that Isekai Suicide Squad?
It does. Tengok. It does look interesting, and it does look like it's competently animated juga. But I don't know, like I'm just so over Harley Quinn. So macam I don't know if I'll check it out. Dia macam dah oversaturated now. But we'll see.
Betul lah. Okay, we got a last question from Wan Faris, a bit menyimpang. The soalan is whether Anri and I went to the Nihon Matsuri, which was over the weekend at Bukit Jalil, atau korang ada plan nak pergi Animan Gaki. Saya tak pergi. Saya itu nak pergi, tapi saya tak ada transport dan juga lagi itu tengok panas lah. And then some of our BuzzPop friends did go. I think Duan went. And I think what's her name? The Eurodyne girl. Sorry, I forgot your name. She went. She had extra tickets as well, and they said it was quite good. I mean, the food looks quite good and all that lah. Tapi I think it's a bit of mix it's got everything lah. So macam cosplayers and all that. Anri, you didn't go, did you?
I didn't go. I was too tired out at the time.
Yeah. Itulah saya speaking for myself sebagai seorang uncle, Malaysia panas tengok malas. Because like the last time I went to something similar was at Ueno Park in Tokyo, and even then I was walking through it very fast because nak makan, tapi masa tu obviously lah, being Japanese is pretty much almost 90% pork, can't bloody eat anything. So there you go. But in Malaysia, I guess it looks fine lah. You got games and stuff typical of summer Matsuri, and I think, as you well know, that there are now in Malaysia a few Japanese YouTubers, and like there was one last wearing full on summer yukata, enjoying herself as if it was in Japan. You know, because in Japan panas macam Malaysia tau, very humid. Sekarang bulan 7, bulan 8 memang hardcore punya panas. But there you go. Okay, let's go back to Jigokuraku. So we'll go on to our next episode. Okay. So our next episode is Student and Master, Deshi to Shi. I think I'm gonna go with this one first, which kind of like matches the title of the episode actually, which was so Chobe dan adik dia weren't the first member of this. I call this the anime Suicide Squad because they are like pretty much no holds barred, different skills, and they saw another fantastical creature similar to the two that we met. Nama dia Zhujin. Aku suka dia tahu dia orang punya nama alternatif dia orang yang ada Sanskrit tu. So nama dia, because in the Japanese dialogue they don't use the Sanskrit name, they pakai nama Cina dia orang. So Zhujin nama dia Tasa Yuanjun. The other ones nanti aku baca lah. Anyway, this actual fight saw a sacrifice. And this is Tenza and Uruguay and Shion, and knowing what has happened in the first 5 episodes, and then where we were introduced to Tenza and Uruguay, and how Tenza is related to Shion with regards to dia punya apprenticeship, and to see this bit of that in the episode, I thought this was quite Munif.
Okay, so yeah, like I mentioned, when bila tension tu muncul, it's like the threat level macam just increase, but in a weird way. Sebab you don't see like suddenly there's a bigger monster yang datang ke apa kan. Macam you tengok there's a totally like regular, simple, unassuming looking dude. Okay, fine, they quit, whatever. But then macam nak bunuh dia pun macam tak boleh dia regenerate. So macam what's going on kan? So as even as a manga reader pun aku macam there's that anxiety where okay, macam how are they even gonna overcome this? I mean like what is this? Dah potong kepala, potong semua pun macam dia just tumbuh balik in no time kan? Is there a limit to their regeneration? How are they regenerating ke benda semua kan? Apa so there's that macam foreboding helplessness punya team lah on the island. And by now, if you realize by now, one of the things yang memang buat aku suka pasal Jigokuraku ni is that almost every fight will end in some significant character's death. You know? So macam the every encounter tu, there's a weight to every encounter. So macam dia tak ada boleh revive balik ke, dia tak ada macam sebenarnya macam tak mati ke benda ke. You actually see macam Tenza orang some of the people that I talked to is actually starting to like Tenza. I was hoping he could be, you know, one of the guys who somehow make it out of the island. Lepas tu dia macam tapi dia macam baik kan. Usually the good guys mesti kena. Okay, but hopefully tengoklah dia sampai until the end, and then we'll see how. And then just like mati just so early. And berapa orang dah mati kan. Like I mentioned lah, even the rank number 1 Asaemon pun macam mati katak at the beach macam tu je. And then arguably the strongest ever prisoner who killed the first Asaemon pun himself pun dah mampus, the giant tu. So so if you
we are not sure where we're going kan. Power skill dia di mana sebenarnya. So macam that's one thing. And even if you imagine like my anxieties as when I was reading was like, is it one of those like Game of Thrones type, you know, don't start getting attached to anyone because they're just gonna like fucking die. And because they're very liberal with killing off characters, and macam heart-wrenchingly so even in this encounter dengan Zujin ni, suddenly every fight suddenly macam shit, don't tell me like janganlah, you know, like macam aku suka gila si Ganset Susai tu. Macam please don't let him encounter Tencent sebab this like P-brain idiot sure dia mati kan. Dia macam takut. So it gives weight to every Tencent encounter because it will usually end up kind of like this kan. So this particular plot, this scene, it establishes a connection yang you tak sangka because you were thinking about, you know, shipping Nurugai dengan Tenzo, and then that ended. But then tiba-tiba you'll see how will she work then with Shion and Nurugai pula, this pakatan pula. Suddenly out of the blue tiba-tiba this happens. So that, you know, whatever criticism lah can be leveled at the show, but you cannot deny the fact yang the unpredictability is definitely one of its charms, because you just don't know who's gonna end up on the chopping block. Because they don't care. The strongest prisoner dah mati, the strongest assignment dah mati, every encounter there's someone mati. So what's going on then? Exactly. Anri?
I'm with Munif lah. Every Tencent punya encounter kan has consequences. If there's a battle, it's gonna be a Pyrrhic victory for the heroes. That means someone's 90% kalau kalian mati tau. Some character of significance will die. There's nothing much to add lah, except for the fact that Tencent punya encounter kan, I was hoping for every encounter kan they would drop a little bit more information on who they are and what they the motivation for the Tencent kan. It didn't appear. It appeared, which is basically one of the reasons why it's one of the factors aside from Sagiri punya existential crisis kan that actually drags out. We saw them on episode 6.
I see what you mean, because you would have thought macam, the bad guy go, haha, you can't do this because this is my power, but they're like keeping stum that because they are so bloody arrogant and all that.
You kacau saya beroman dengan saya punya
that's all they're gonna say. But luckily the nuggets do come out subsequently from other sources. Anyway, I think I want to go back to that. So basically I had this actually as question 2A. So we'll get question 2. So basically the map of the elixir leads to now this is where the nuggets start dropping out. I mean, they met these two our gang, especially this one that's comprising the Gabimaru and obviously Sagiri, as well as Yuzuriha and Senta, our bespectacled executioner. So we met a pink-haired girl called May at the top of the panel dengan dia punya guardian, a tree-like character called Hoko. And basically they went to this section of the, I forgot what the name of the layers are. I know the middle bit is called Horai, where he related that yes, the elixir is there if that's what you're looking for. Anyway, by this time when he's dropped his nuggets, now with all the things that you've learned in episodes 3 to 5 when they landed on the island, including those monsters that we saw, the clues, subtle clues that we had from the Tencent that we met thus far. Anri, do you have an impression of this island with what you know by this time, without influencing your answer with what you know from subsequent episodes? Do you think there was enough information by this time? It described what I expected lah. I think the special flower that created the elixir is in the middle of the island, where the hermit live with the Tencent. And from there, right, it's the place where they control, and the rest is dia punya pengikut apa control. So the layers do seem apa it makes sense lah. Okay, the base is dekat tengah, dekat tengah the island, and then the first layer is the one with the sentient monsters. Outside is the monster yang macam tak ada sentiency lah. They just like roam around and kill and just eat each other lah. So it gives us a description on the island punya, how you say, hierarchy lah. What how the monster hierarchy kan in the waters kan, because remember the girl yang tomboy tu kan, yang apa nama dia, Orai something like that. Nurugai.
And the handsome good guy, right? They were trying to escape by boat, but there were monsters kan, there were marine creatures tau. So I don't know how that works lah, but it seems that this thing kan, I don't know if this is intentional. It's something like something of an updated version of Island of Dr. Moreau.
Okay, I'm aware of that story, but I do not know what it's about.
It's about doctor who creates monsters on island basically. I think this is something like that. Cuma done using Eastern mysticism lah, which is actually a stroke of genius lah.
Before I'm going to get Munir to jump into that and asking him, have we stepped on something when he mentioned Dr. Moreau? Just quickly, the region, the island on the outside where the beach is called Eishu, and where they are now, which is where the village is called Hojo, and the middle bit is of course
Horror.
What you call it, Horai. Okay, anyway, Mujib, yes. Did Anri guessed it almost right with the Dr. Moreau analogy?
I mean, the whole Dr. Moreau analogy too, there's definitely bits of truth there lah. There is bits of truth there for sure. But commenting on this scene alone, yang ni pun aku suka pasal at this point we were thrown with so many shit tau, sampai macam wait, what's going on? And aku pun macam dalam cerita ni atas pulau kan. So I was thinking, are they gonna do a loss where in the end macam nothing matters and nothing is explained? Aku dah risau. Tapi but the awesome thing is that when we went to this village, we met Mei and Hoko, and then dengan center sekali itu do analyze all the info. That's when we get this lore dump. That's why aku lega say, okay, now I know they have a plan. They're definitely gonna reveal to us what in the blue hell is going on now. So satu aku suka sangat center pasal center in a way he is our window into this world. He is, if we were like on this island, we would be center. We'd be like, guys, what the hell is going on? I'm gonna figure out what's going on. Why are they wearing like, Buddhist beads, these fish head things? What's going on here? So they research everything, and then Hoko ni pun nak tolong bagi info sikit. So slowly but surely, there are attempts and even successful attempts to piece together what is going on this island now. And when I was reading the manga, this is what convinced me, yes, there will be satisfying conclusions and explanation to everything. It's just that they of course stretching it out as we go throughout the journey. And so at this particular point, convinced me that they have a game plan now, that there is a structure there.
Exactly. Until our friend decide to do otherwise. But before we go on to the next episode, which will deal with that Gabimaru friend of ours, we got 4 comments. Let me see before. Tenza tak jadi Tan lah kan sebab dia dah mati kan? I assume so, but we will talk about Tan in a bit. To by anybody watching this who do not know what category is talking about. You wanted to say something just now, Munif? You seem to be wanting to interject. Tak ada.
I mean, tak nak interject sangat pun tak boleh lah. But basically, no. Because, for someone to obtain that Tan needs to be from a living creature that has Tao, and creatures that have Tao needs to be alive. So once you're dead, there's no extracting shit or whatever from you lah.
Yeah, you have to be at least half dead. Okay, so I can't remember this bit, but probably this was in the flashback. I guess Sean kena mengurat dengan perempuan, dia bunuh je. And then there was
discipline.
God. Aku ingat Pak Pokok ni nak menipu, nasib baik bagi tahu map pulau, and Wan Faris, I am Groot.
But I have to add pasal Hoko tu. Just be reminded, yang ni pun don't worry, aku tak akan bagi spoiler lah. Tapi walaupun aku pun initially memang lega lah bila Hoko actually tolong dia orang. He genuinely bagi information about the island and about the Tencent, and dia tak tipu pun sebenarnya. Memang he told us the truth. But truth is relative kadang-kadang, because you need to remember dia tengah cakap ni from the perspective of a macai tau. This Tencent is basically a god to him. It's his god. So cara dia cerita is after macam years of being fed with the truth about the island from the Tencent and everything, and also dia genuinely tengah bagi tahu what he feels is, this is what it is lah. But as we go on, we'll probably find some variations to that truth.
I see. Okay, right. So that's the question from chat. Kita akan ke episod yang seterusnya, episod 9. Okay, episod 9, Gods and People, Kamito Hito. So, as much as we felt that now they got enough information with a plan, our friend Gami baru blah. And obviously, it went towards Horai on his own because he did not juga get it as soon get it out as soon as possible, blah blah blah. And then of course depan pintu Foray was Tencent, Zujin was the one that fought Tenza kan, that killed Tenza. And Zujin ni macam, Allah, hari ni tak boleh senyap ke dapat sequel lagi. So basically this fight scene, in my opinion, was the first one that we see a full-on proper Tencent versus human fight, because it kind of went halfway with Tenza. Let's start with Anri. Have you got any comment? Whether on, anyway, do you think that this fight gave us any hint as to the power system? I know we will know about it more later, but di waktu ini ada tak hint? Ada certain power system that is needed to be known?
Basically, the power that the Tencent used to fight and live eternally, right, is it's in relation to Tao, which is basically aura, qigong, whatever you want to call it lah, or Nen if you are Hunter lah. Basically, you cannot defeat them conventionally, macam dengan pisau or just breaking their head. But if you strike with enough Tao or aura kan in your fist kan, macam there was one attack kan that connected kan, and it made a difference tau. And then dia betul, why did that work? Tapi yang sebelum tu apa tak work kan? So he just launched a barrage of punches out, doing the same thing out. It damaged it, but it actually killed it. And then apa tu yang satu mata tu, Chobe, what his name?
Chobe.
He said, "Oh, this 10 men when I fought him, right, I felt something. I felt dia punya macam power can come from the lower abdomen tau. It's basically yang if you actually look at the macam the key passages kan, that's where your aura berkumpul lah. There you go. So basically you need aura to defeat the Tencent, and that's why I think kan the blind guy kan, he had an advantage when it comes to the Tencent punya combat tau. He sees the world through macam not only through hearing lah, but also sense lah, and he can actually sense the changes of energy from a person, which is actually mild macam aura punya tendencies lah. So I was happy to know that they didn't pull the powers into something that's tak akan mengena dengan Chinese mysticism, which is actually macam Taoism. So on that part is well done. I don't have much complaints. It's just that we don't see much the Tencent have been displaying lah. They just display macam regeneration and key strikes from afar, macam ditumbuk kan, and then the aura hit them from distance out. I think you've seen it in Dragon Ball, macam Goku kan, or those kung fu movies lah, invisible palms, what you call it lah. So I think I'm spot on this lah, basically. Here's the thing tau, if they do focus on aura kan as part of the punya Tencent punya powers kan, if they can get enough that power from normal human beings kan, from that pit kan, it'll be interesting for them to actually see kan how they get this is just one of my theory Brazil
Yokohama dan sebagainya.
Yokohama with this lah. I was thinking kan something down the line after season 2 happens, right? Maybe they said, oh, this new batch of people from Japan kan, they had dia punya Tao kan is different from the losers from the first wave Tao. And they captured the second Yagayomon team kan, and they actually harness it properly, right? Maybe there's a power boost or something like that change, and then we can see something aside from that. monster transformation now. I was hoping for that to happen lah.
Yeah, because whether or not there is a difference from Rakyat Marhen punya Tao dengan, say for example, say if they manage to throw Gabimaru down the pit half dead or whatever. Obviously, your opinion. As well, the fact that at the end of the fight, Gabimaru was saved by the bell literally by Mei-chan, which now opens up another thing going, whoa, what is she then? But we'll know about her later on. But of course, by this time, you got any comments on this fight with Zujin?
By this time, this battle with Zujin ni, at that point masa aku baca ni, this was the best fight in the show coming to this point lah, for sure tau. Sebab number one, by now tengok the readers or watchers dah ada sedikit rasa benci pasal Zujin ni sebab you know what he did to Tenza and totally destroyed that ship kan. So kalau when you met the twins Jufa and Taufa tu, dia macam sangat indifferent and jumpa tiba-tiba and they don't care about you and they just kill you semua. So macam Anri cakap lah, so there's a feeling of indifference with the Tencent tau. Tapi the best part pasal Zujin ni, I think this is the first Tencent that you actually hate no? Sebab kau nak tengok dia ni kena kan, dah lah dia macam bunuh Tenza like nothing. Satu boleh jumpa orang dia nak buat macam mengeluh kan, like such a lousy chore dia kena buat kan. To actually see him and then battle with our main character pula, so which is you know, to us Gabimaru would be the strongest on our side lah kan, and then boleh tengok dia lawan, and then Gabimaru actually surprise him on occasions and push him until he reached that Kishikai punya state. Was very bagiku satisfying, refreshing, and also it aku suka the fact yang what you really actually battling is really literal monsters tau sebenarnya once they turn into that Kishikai punya state. So that just really elevated the show to me sebab not just because I'm a creature feature fan, but because the matchups is more interesting tau. Sebab macam tadi yang cakap Kak Anri tadi, your point about the Tencent punya design kan. There are multiple reasons why that's why initially we see them like that. But this Kishikai state actually represents them in their true form, kinda, without really spoiling anything. And between the Tencents, they are wildly different in design now. So that's when you see what they really are, and you're gonna be satisfied design-wise. You will be. So anyway, back to the topic of
the Tencent punya later forms or dia punya monster forms basically. The
monster forms, I think Kishikai.
Yeah,
forms.
dia punya Kishikai forms. So because when macam bila dia orang all out aja, this is what they bukanlah kata all out juga. That's an oversimplification lah. But you know, if I talk about what these guys truly look like, this is just one sample lah. Because they are not human. No? You could even say that plain Jane human look is just a front to a certain extent. So because at
certain points of the anime kan, aku tengok bila macam Zujin transform ke that monster form kan, it reminds me like, oh, I think I've seen this before. Where ya? Oh yeah, Persona.
Macam Persona kan.
Persona.
I tak main game, tak tahu.
Okay,
kalau another comparison aku boleh bagi ke, design dia macam tu juga, macam Claymore tau, the monsters in Claymore kan. Kalau kau pernah baca Claymore, so if you like the characters and then monster design dia macam mana, so this has that Claymore vibe actually to the Tencent yang sebenarnya. What we are seeing right now is just but a piece of the chaos that this asshole will wreak on the island actually. So itulah moving back a bit on the fight itself, and macam cakap lah, every encounter with the Tencent dia kan ada some weight, some consequence. And kalau tadi cakap, you know, people just die whenever you meet a Tencent. And then you meet Zujin, who totally already killed one of the, you know, most wholesome characters. Sekarang, and even though fine kali ni this match no death happened, but he totally took out the main character. So he was actually the first character who totally beat the main character, and if the main character was not saved by a little girl, you would have been a carcass there. You would have been dead for sure, hands down. No? So that, walaupun it's not a death, but see, there's still that weight to the results where your main character, yang do OP and just blast off everyone before this, just got his ass handed to him thoroughly, in this encounter, and so that adds to another weight to the tension encounter lah. And then of course, tu macam cakap, they first introduced the Kishikai state. Pasal Kishikai state, aku ada things to elaborate, but I'll let you guys find out yourself once we get to that lah. But it's just a tease that maybe some of the more boring things that you see or the things that people criticize, kan? This is a preview on why actually there's a payoff to that lah sebenarnya. It's not your orang lawan orang and then design pun macam biasa-biasa, kind of boring kind of show. And then when you add in the power system, and I know macam korang pun dah got a hint of what the power system is, but the other unique thing about this show is that, okay, it's actually more complex than that, the power system. There can other more revelations about it. But just being a complex system is not enough for you to be unique, because NEN is pretty complex on its own. But here's the thing, Jigokuraku ni, not only is the power system cool and quite complex, but power system dia ties in to everything about this show sebenarnya. About the island, about the Tencent, about whether the elixir tu ada tak ada, about the Kishikai forms, about the flowers, about whatever. Imagine a show, a manga where the power systems is actually so encompassing. It's basically the theme of the show when you get to the end, or when you think about it. Like other macam IPs usually that power macam One Piece. Aku suka One Piece, tapi macam Devil Fruit is just Devil Fruit, you get your powers, whatever. But it's not really, for the most part, not really integral to the plot. So macam yang ni, the town, so what they call it, is basically is gonna be connected and touch and make everything make sense sebenarnya.
Okay, actually tadi I put on a comment by MN Shafiq in the middle of your explanation just to tie in, and then MN Shafiq, saya nampak komen-komen awak yang lain, tapi saya nak berbual komen awak di waktu kita discuss the exact point. Kita nak pergi ke segmen yang seterusnya di dalam episod ni, di mana kita berjumpa dengan ke-7 Tencent kali pertama in one spot, dan juga ini juga kali pertama kita melihat Tan, which is the elixir or ramuan ajaib yang disuling dari tau manusia yang dihumban ke dalam liang yang kita tengok sebentar tadi di Shinsenkyo. So whether or not there are more pits like that, I'm sure there will be. Takkanlah satu je kot. Tan ini diminum Tencent untuk memanjangkan umur masing-masing. But obviously it will be alluded later that it may not work for human beings. So anyway, we've met 7 of them. Semua ada nama. Boss dia yang bawah ni, nama dia Rian. Nama fancy dia Shangdi Samantha Badra. I love the second name, but anyway, gila bosan nama Rian. And then Mamat, ada satu Tencent ni macam skema, muka dia bunga kuning duk baca buku, nama dia Guifa. Atau nama fancy dia Decorous Monju Koko. And then yang blonde yang kita nampak masa bromen tu, nama dia Jufa, Great Emperor Akshobia. Dan yang muka dia cover dengan, I think it's in the second pen. Yeah, let me see. Because actually dalam ni muka dia cover tau. Mama Afro, rambut Afro
bunga purple
tu. Sebenarnya masa kita jumpa dia nanti, dia tak ada Afro. Nama dia Mudan.
Mudan.
You can make the second name as a black metal band punya nama, serious ya. Enthroned Amoga Vajra. I love that name. And then we got this guy, the guy with purple flowers. That's Ran, Imperial Monarch Kundi. And then the pink-haired girl, Taufa yang kita jumpa tadi. And Great Sage Ratna dan last kali Zujin yang sebenarnya masa dia meeting ni muka dia terbakar obviously from the last encounter with Gabi Maru atau Tata Yuan Yun. So we've spoken a bit about the Tan. Anyway, I mean when we this episode, which obviously kinds of now finally establishes what we are up, what these characters are up against. What's your opinion, Anri?
Well,
go ahead. You go ahead. I'll do this later. Yeah. Okay,
well, aside from the difficult names to remember, right?
Oh, you got the short names to remember. Don't worry lah.
Even the short names, guys, is confusing to me now. It's my first reaction kan, this is a bunch of hippie people gathering in the veranda foyer.
It does feel like that. As opposed to smoking pot, they're doing something.
Yeah.
Doing something else.
We're fucking around in the middle of the forest kan, drinking hallucinogenic immortal tea now. This is the group that I feel that's been gathering in front of me right now lah.
Without a care.
None of them have a sense of terror, if you ask me, except for Rian now. He exudes a false aura of control among the other Tencent lah. You see him marah they're one of those guys for chastising and trying to bully Zujin kan. He kata no one hits Zujin except me now. If you watch wrestling, like he's trying to become the Roman Reigns, something like that lah at that moment lah. Okay. Kapla. I don't see a sense of threat from them. It's like if if Gabi Maru and his friend kan tak pergi the island kan, the world will be at peace tau. This circle jerk of assholes kan, Tencent kan, they're not going to leave the island. They're just going to stick around and fuck each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, they're a powerful group, but I don't sense any real threat from them lah. Yeah. Maybe Rian lah. Maybe he's the biggest asshole on the island, but that's about it lah.
Yeah. Munif, anything to add?
Okay.
Hello.
Stuck.
Are you stuck? Okay. In the meantime, sementara kita tunggu Munif to get his act together, not his act, his computer or phone together. Just to give a quick run, by the by, karakter untuk Tencent ini semua disuarakan oleh orang yang sama, depending on the state that they are in. So di waktu mereka menjadi lelaki atau in the young state, suara mereka dilakon suarakan oleh Suabe Junichi, yang anda mungkin kenali sebagai voice seiyu untuk Grimjo, Jaga Jax dalam Bleach, Sukuna dalam Jujutsu Kaisen, dan Aizawa Shota, cikgu kelas A1 dalam Boku no Hero Academia. Dan sewaktu Tencent itu dalam dia punya yin atau female morphology, suara seiyu untuk Tencent perempuan adalah Kaida Yuko. Dia ni not really that well known, but if I mention these two, Anri will be very excited. Ryoma Shime, the one with the eye patch in Iki Tosen, dan Sylvia Sherwood, bos kepada Lloyd Forger dalam Spy Family.
Hello.
So there you go. Are you alright? Yeah, Munif.
Yeah. This particular scene pun is quite interesting to me the first time seeing it juga pasal you get to see all of them together and then you find that there's some interesting dynamic between them. Macam Anri cakap tadi lah, like Rian tu nampak macam tak bagi orang pukul Zujin kan, but at the same time macam dia pun macam abusive juga, dia seorang dia boleh pukul Zujin kan.
Oh, he is abusive.
But then it also gets you thinking without them really spelling out loud. But you really think about it, what's the implication of this scene now? they actually really do not like it when you go into the Kishikai state. So why is it that they don't like you to go into the Kishikai
I haven't
state?
thought of it that way though.
So that's one thing. Kenapa they were chiding him, to the extent of like blasting his head off, pasal pergi to masuk ke Kishikai state. So if you really look at the scene, that's the first factor. It's established between the Tencent, they don't like you going Kishikai. Secondly, going Kishikai depletes them somehow. Sebab Zujin tu terus jadi muka jadi macam orang tua terus. That's the second thing. And then you add on the third thing, which is you see them drinking tan. And you know tan is being extracted from the flower pit. So what's the relation between this thing? Tan needs to be extracted. They get old once they go Kishikai. And the other Tencent is angry when you go to Kishikai. So the implementation is very simple in that tan powers their transformation or longevity or their powers, And because tan needs to be extracted, tan is precious.
Yep.
So when you end up using, actually what happened is that when your normal, plain Jane, unassuming, perfect human body yang macam Anri criticize tadi that design tu, when you actually let that form expire and you had to use your reserve tan to go into Kishikai mode, you are not only wasting it for you because everyone is drinking from that reserve, so you're also wasting it for everyone else sebab tak usah nak kena top up kau balik kan.
Yeah.
So you basically even though you become memang OP gila in Kishikai state, but you wasted a very precious resource for them by going Kishikai. And the other implication of this whole scene that they show us is what, it also explains the indifference that they have. Again, one of the things yang Anri cakap juga, they doesn't seem very, very macam terror, very ada personality, very menacing. They just like whatever is like semut lalu sebelah you, like whatever kan. This scene kinda explains that in a way because now that we know their most powerful form comes from the excess of tan, and the tan is actually being extracted from barely living things inside inside the pit. Yeah. The implication is that why they so indifferent is because you being on the island is mission accomplished for them.
Yeah.
So sebab tu dia buat tak tu, because if they kill you macam Tenza and like kita punya commenter tanya, if they kill you, they're not going to extract shit from you. But now that you're on the island, eventually something's going to happen where either, we're going to drag you into the pit, you're going to go into the pit, you're going to become a flower yourself, whatever, what have you. You will end up becoming part of the food chain on this island. So all we need to is just leave you be, which is also why Zujin is like, kalau boleh, I don't want to deal with you fucks, like slashing my eyeballs out, slashing my legs out and everything, sebab you're gonna be our food eventually. So bila aku terserempak engkau and kau nak lawan dengan aku, and tengok now the worst case scenario happened, I actually had to go Kishikai. And now like everyone's like all over my ass because of that. So this scene alone actually, without telling you directly, it's already like kind of showing you the structure of the world. Yeah.
I think that spells it out quite nicely, man. Okay, there were some comments from chat. Naoki, saya nak bubuh awak punya comment on the screen, tapi the spoiler that potentially is coming out from your comment bukan spoiler based on the current episodes, but spoiler based on future seasons, so we'll let it be. Category the Great. Okay, kenapa Tencent buat pulau tu makhluk berdasarkan Buddhism? Actually, the my God, this is going to be spoiler, but Munir will correct me if I'm wrong. The Tencent didn't create it, something else did, but I'm not going to say anymore. Am I correct or am I wrong or what?
Well,
I mean the shoujins, the fish things, the walking Buddhas,
all those makhluk apa semua tu kan. I'll just say it like this lah. Dia macam ni lah. You just anggap the island is like a Venus flytrap. So the Venus flytrap, macam mana dia lure dia punya mangsa datang is with sand. Because of the sand, so everything will go to the Venus flytrap for them to digest lah. The thing about this island, because it's in the what era of the Japanese punya emperor benda semua kan. So around the Asian continent, everyone is all about that mysticism and spirituality, betul lah. So it's actually like what Santa cakap. It's not just Buddhism, it's not just Taoism.
Fake religions.
It's like some kind of cheap amalgamation of everything. Pasal apa tau? Because this Venus flytrap of an island tengah pakai pukat tunnel tau. It's like just tangkap muat for everything. You relate to Taoism, you relate to Buddhism, you relate to general.
Kalau Melayu lalu naik kapal, sure kena.
So macam kan. So basically tak kisah daripada makhluk, architecture, ornaments benda semua. It is by design yang dia nampak macam amalgamation of Taoism, Buddhism and whatever ni, sebab they know benda ni, that mysticism, that vibe will add to the mythos of the Elixir of Life yang akan draw all these idiots from the mainland so datang to the island. So it is by design, but let the show sendiri explain in due time lah. But kenapa simbol religion tu, it's on purpose.
Okay, cool. Kita sekarang akan ke segmen yang seterusnya, which is 2 episod senang bobo sekali, episod 10 dan episod 11. Ya, episod 10 begitu Yin and Yang, or in Japanese Itoyo, dan episod 11 Weak and Strong, Yowai to Suyoi, which is pretty much the mantra that our little friend may keep on going when she suddenly grew up, which is quite interesting why she grew up. And anyway, it all centers to this thing, which is in question number 5, concept of Tao. Dan sekarang kita akan see in action. Tapi kalau saya overlay ni, walaupun saya tak macam, I mean, obviously there are few fights at the moment we have to contend with in these 2 episodes, ya. Chobe dan Toma melawan tentacle Doshi, mamat yang muka janggut, bukanlah janggut, muka dia titipan grey tentacle. Gabimaru dan Gunset Susai dan Fochi melawan Doshi 2 ekor lagi, nama the Centipede and Butterfly Doshi, which you could see in the second panel. Dan juga Shion dan Uruguay versus various Soshin. Dan later on when we see the final episodes of Yuzuriha, Senta dan juga Sagirin. Tapi soalan saya nak tanya ni, do you find it interesting, albeit I can see what the answer is, how the individual experiences pengalaman tersendiri, dan walaupun diorang dalam 4 kumpulan yang berbeza, mereka ada pengalaman masing-masing yang give rise to the same conclusion, which is the usage and discovery of Tao in the end, subsequently penggunaan dalam melawan musuh. Do you find it interesting that this is like this, then that the fact that you get them, Gamibaru discovers it in one way, Shion discovers it in one way, and so forth. Munif. Okay. Tadi kau frozen. Did you get the question? Munif? Hello. You want to go first?
Difficulty?
You want to go first?
What was the question?
Okay, the question is how these 4 separate groups managed to discover how to use Tao themselves, or have an idea. Oh, that's this thing. because like Shion kind of discovered it. Obviously, Gabimaru was explained it, but then he said, "Oh yeah, that felt familiar." Blah,
yeah,
blah.
strong, weak, strong.
Yeah, but that was obviously the
Maybe.
yeah, I want to remove this bit. You're right, Munif. Boleh. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Anri.
I think it's interesting for them to actually learn the concept of Tao or aura or chakra, whatever it is, on their own, on from different punya perspective. Tenza punya understanding of Tao is through the, like I said, I mentioned earlier lah, through dia punya way he sees things through ways beyond dia punya eyesight lah. He detects.
Oh, you mean Shion, the blind guy.
Shion, yeah, the blind guy, yeah. Gabimaru, dia dengan apa that big guy, they're like just brute force tau. Apa anything can be solved apa if you just hit them apa enough lah. But May was there apa explaining kan the concept of Tao to them lah. And the guy yang follow the big guy, apa nama dia? Yang kecil tu, yang suka bedah.
Foci.
Yeah, he learn apa macam internal surgery, right? So he's aware of the concept of the aura passages in the body lah. So okay. So what she mean was apa qigong. And then Yuzuriha, she mentioned, we studied this in our village. We call it chi or chakra, whatever they call it lah. So the concept of Tao is there. Memang it exists in different forms and in different
nomenclature
and describe different definitions, but it's still the same thing. So it is well done. I would actually try to expand it more on Gabimaru's side. Dia kan belajar apa all these ninja techniques kan. Don't tell me those ninja techniques kan tak ada guna nimpo. Tak guna apa chakra or qigong lah. Because that seems like a flaw in apa dia punya macam story concept tau basically. You mean to tell me
cikgu dia bukan Kakashi. Tak.
I know lah. I know dia cikgu bukan Kakashi, but don't tell me kan dia dah flash api kan. It's just macam just sembuh apa alcohol apa through a tube or something. That's not it, right? He basically breathe fire and use some kill techniques yang apa strike harder than apa cannonball. Those things are chi based and he's not aware of all this. Something's either wrong or the storytelling is a bit is glossing things over by just making OP for no reason. So for all the characters, it's okay. Gabimaru's side is a bit flawed because he's this powerful and using a lot of ninja techniques that requires chi, but has no idea what Tao is. No idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kejap saya nak ni kejap. Stop. Okay. Munif. If you didn't get the question was you see there's 4 panels. Did you find it interesting that despite the fact these 4 groups were separated from each other, they all each individually discovered Tao in some way or other?
For me, this was the best part of the manga for me lah, in the sense yang because I'm the kind of guy who I nitpick at things, especially pasal power systems, power scaling, power level, because I feel like if you don't establish that shit, then everything is just aku tumbuk kau, then power friendship aku tumbuk kau lagi kuat, and then kau pula ada second form that aku tumbuk kau lagi kuat, which I really do not enjoy. So the fact yang not only they started off with kind of explaining what Tao is, and then suddenly in this episode there's 4 different scenarios, but they also came to the same conclusion, which from my perspective was more to not only they kind of realize what makes the Tencent powerful or what powers macam these creatures on the island, but at the same time some of them has been using this shit all along, cuma with a different name macam tu lah. So I really like that concept, because in the beginning I was like, why is this guy like an abnormal giant, or where does this ninjutsu come from, or why is this like Asaemon just pakai pedang ni dangerous semua kan. So why is this seemingly normal guy can belah a temple in two lah with his sword, what's going on kan. So I just hope there's not some kadang-kadang in many anime they just don't explain that shit. It's just orang ni kuat whatever kan. So I'm just giving them a pass. Okay lah, semua orang dah buat macam tu kan. But then when they rationalize these things, it shows that the depth of which they were actually thinking about the world building, the law, and the power scaling. And with that, aku nak pergi pula to Anri punya criticism of Gabimaru, which again is something yang when aku started reading aku faham juga lah, because number one, I wasn't a fan of Gabimaru being so OP, just steamrolling all these morons before we met the giant and before the
he being OP right is almost merits you like tau. So mula-mula aku macam tak apa suka ke, tapi macam when he got his ass handed to him by the giant and Suji, aku dah start macam okay, that's good, bagus lah. But still niggling in my heart like, but he still like kind of gave that Sujin a run for his money tau. And when I'm thinking about it, when he does all his all his ninpo, all his jutsu, I had the same thought macam Anri juga, pasal macam Yuzara pun dah cakap kan, dekat kampung dia panggil ni Ki, and then we realize the giant of Bizen tu pun was probably unknowingly using Tao lah essentially kan. But then suddenly, because you see Gabimaru, why is he OP? Is because his ninpo tu is very adept at using them, like not accidental lah. Very purposeful, he triggers these abilities. So there's no way that he doesn't, so it's either does he not know about Tao, so if he doesn't know about Tao, then that's kind of dumb, because then all his ninjutsu is just ass pull. But then if he does know about Tao, then why is he just discovering about Tao as he's fighting Zujin kan? So menurut aku fikir macam tu lah. But then like eventually this is not a spoiler, more like advanced info sikit, or more of a change of perspective lah when viewing the power system. What I find that helped me rationalize this thing eventually is this. Makin lama aku baca ni, I realize that the concept of Tao ni, dia bukan macam, it's funny because they mention like ki and whatever, but it's not really like that. It's more to I guess the best comparison would be Senjutsu from Naruto. So kalau tengok Naruto, Senjutsu kan dia ada Taijutsu, which is fighting, Ninjutsu, which is your Ninpo, Genjutsu, the illusion, and then the sages, the sages in Naruto, they will use Senjutsu. Yes. So Senjutsu is when you harness the natural life force from all around you, and then you mold it into an attack lah macam tu. So the thing about why is it different from what the Tencent are doing lah essentially is this, because I believe Gabimaru and even the rest of the powerful humans, why they have abilities is because they have been, well, knowingly or unknowingly molding the natural aura around them, the Senjutsu lah. Then using Senjutsu essentially, molding the natural energy to turn it into attacks and ninpo lah in the case of Gabimaru. So to me, it's established that him and the other humans memang dah kinda adept at manipulating Senjutsu. But why is it bila jumpa dengan the Tencent, it becomes like, why they on a different level? Why do we not know what they are doing? Is because number one, they are not human, and the way they use Tao or Senjutsu is indeed different from our criminals and asaemons. So while the criminals and asaemons, we manipulate the Senjutsu around us, tapi
the Tencents, because the difference is that tan. So again, going back to Naruto, with Senjutsu, kalau Naruto pakai lo, dia kena bertapa, absorb the Senjutsu, and then it can turn into Sage mode, and then do all these crazy abilities kan. But kenapa dia orang jadi still lain level berlawan the Tencent? Because of tan. The thing about tan is that imagine that Senjutsu aura, but instead of just sitting down and bertapa and absorb Senjutsu,
instant bertapa.
They force it out of life forms, and they have a concentrated Senjutsu appearing in physical form, which is liquid now. And then they consume that shit. And then the nature of their bodies pula, which will be explained later. So
oh no.
Oh, sangkut eh.
So so basically in summary, Gabimaru and the human characters, dia macam Naruto, they just mold a bit only. Tu pun tak sampai full potential. They just mold a bit the natural energy to become superhuman.
Oh no! Oh, there's a knock on somebody's door. Tapi
sorry.
No worries.
Okay, real quick. So the Gabimaru and the normal humans, they mold Senjutsu a bit to become superhuman. The Tencent, they drink terus physical Senjutsu made physical. So that's why they are on a different level. Walaupun technically what they are wielding is the same, but there are some more very more significant differences which I cannot say because that would totally be spoilers lah. But you'll see, macam betul, macam cakap Anri, aku pun mula-mula dengan Gabimaru ni pun, macam mana kau boleh buat semua benda ni, badan kau terbakar kot, like what's going on kan. But as you go on, you'll see, kenapa it's different. But to help korang hadam what's coming next, just understand this is not like Chakra, Naruto or Ki, walaupun dia sebut Ki, this is Senjutsu lah. Which even relates, kalau kau tengok, you see that arborification kan, yang Hoko tu dia macam jadi pokok, dia pun kata dia dulu orang kan, dia saat dia pokok. Remember in Naruto masa dia first try pakai Senjutsu, apa jadi bila dia absorb too much?
Tak ingat.
He started to jadi batu, jadi one of those toad statues.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember.
That concept is the same here. That concept is the same way, and it will relate to so many things later. I promise you it will make sense.
Right, that's deja vu. You said that, I did a thumbs up. Kalau kau tengok video yang from bulan 5 tu, you said the same thing and I did that. Anyway, okay, right. So that now brings us to the final bit of this discussion, which is saya dah going to have some questions using episodes 12 dan 13. Episode 12 is Umbrella and Ink, Kasa to Sumi, and episode terakhir untuk musim ini adalah Dream and Reality, Yumeto Utsuts. So, boss fight antara Sagiri Yuzuriha dan Senta melawan Mudan. Okay, Mudan, apa nama fancy dia? Aku suka sangat gila nama fancy dia orang. Mana Mudan? Enthroned Amoga Vajra. Anyway, it looks like a straightforward fight, but we now know that what they can do. And satu lagi, just to illustrate what Munir was saying about the various appearance of these guys in their what form? Apa yang jadi monster?
Kishikai.
Kishikai transformation, which is also known as demonic corpse release. So basically, from the Kishikai appearance, you would see that they look a bit different. Well, not a bit, they are different. I mean, it's here. Oops. At the top there, I think. There's if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Munir, if you're okay with your connection, or do you need to do anything? Because
Okay. Sebab aku pun phone aku mati ni, padahal tengah charge. So I had to change to my laptop. And kadang-kadang internet dia spotty sikit. Tapi now tengah okay ni.
Okay. Just a quick rundown on this final fight, man. Versus Mudan. Obviously, everybody in BuzzPop just now was a bit excited with Yuzuriha's wet appearance. Like, aku ni nak input terlalu polite sekarang, tapi yelah, tak nak kena cancel ni, konon. Anyway, go ahead. Just in general, do you think there's an evolution, or whether this is just them as a group tackling this thing better than the other ones that we saw early on when they fought at Tencent?
Yeah. Actually, also in this fight, they're fighting another Tencent, and then as usual, when you face a Tencent, going with the team, consequences are there.
Yeah.
Lepas tu, but before we elaborate more on that, the other thing I like to bring your attention to is that if you really look at the fight and you really analyze what's being said, they're also actually starting to introduce another aspect of Tao lah, or again untuk senang faham, the senjutsu lah. So as they were fighting, some attacks are working, some attacks are not. And why is it he's only dodging Sagiri punya attacks and not everyone else? So there's also a reason to that, which the main reason being, I'll probably let you identify it yourself lah. But apart from that, I think this also cements the importance of Tao again, because only Tao wielders can hurt fellow Tao wielders. So by now, this should be properly established lah. So this is why you see from the first episode, all the normal humans are just cannon fodder masa dia lawan our criminals and assignment, because they really never stood a chance. Turns out our main characters are monsters themselves to begin with. Cuma bila dah sampai pulau ni, mereka jumpa pula an even higher level of monsters. But why? What is this power scaling that makes this monster over this one over that monster? Is your adeptness at manipulating the senjutsu and how you use the senjutsu lah. That actually creates the power tier lah, which our heroes will slowly discover and learn the many implications and selok belok of using said senjutsu. And the clues they memang taburkan in the fights, the commentaries they make. Why tu macam cakap kenapa dia just avoid Sagiri punya attacks, while yang lain tu biarlah kena slash, tak regenerate balik mata, whatever kan. Tapi kan Sagiri dia elak-elak kan. So they are not as immortal as they would like people to believe. Which this fight scene kind of shows. But aku suka that balance while they show that maybe there's some hope. We tag team together, we can get this shit done, everything, But at the same time, you still drown in helplessness juga. They still bring you back to that team in the end. But apa pun, Yuzuriha is memang the best girl. Sebab without her in this fight, everyone else would have been dead already, As incompetent as what she likes to make herself
look like. She's not really incompetent.
But make no mistake, as a fellow shinobi, she is on par with Gabi Maru. They just tak nak jump into the fire, and dia pun macam tak berapa motivated kan. But when she gets down to it, I said this is one of the points where even aku, when I was reading the manga, macam janganlah kill this sexy lass kan, aku memang nak dia selamat semua kan. But starting from this point, you'll be like, you know what, I actually genuinely do like her character, and I actually genuinely do like her to survive, bukan saja pasal sexy. I really like this person.
Dia mula-mula nampak macam this annoying bimboish person, but she's not really, especially when you see the next episode. Very human. Anri, have you got anything to add to Munif's description of the fight?
Munif said most of the things I wanted to say, and I just want to add that if it's not for Yuzuriha, kan already drop Jigokuraku. I tell you honestly kan, I would drop the series kalau Yuzuriha mati like in episode 7 or something like that now. For the sake of sexiness and also for the sake of plot tau. I mean, she made everything kan fun. Okay, she made everything fun. She's a tease. She takes things seriously. She takes things lightly. She's the most human out of all these people lah, basically. Yeah, Santa, Sagiri, all these Yemon semua ni, they it's like they forsaken normal lives for their duties. And all these other convicts kan, they are just like, I'm kill, fight. But usually it's like, I just want to survive and get the fuck out of here now.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, actually kita ada beberapa sebelum saya nak pergi to the next question. I mean, obviously, as much as it does sound that I'm downplaying this last fight, actually it's a very important fight, and in a way the question still hasn't complete. We are not complete. This segment of the episode is not complete yet. But I think there was one element of the story that saya macam terlepas pandang sikit lah. It's kind of like just to go back a couple of episodes. This is based on categories, fantastic words used here. No, Mei sama nak kena training dengan Pak Cik Lipan. Yeah, I thought that was like flipping neck, man. Tapi again, as I said, sementara saya duk prepare ni, I was using several sources to so that I could compile the overlay and that kind of stuff. You accidentally read stuff. This is the thing. As I said, I've not read the manga sampai habis. So discovering this by accident is kind of like tapi okay, fine. But as much as like you, when I first saw it, I was like flipping, pedophiles, but not really. Am I right, Munif?
Yeah,
okay. We cannot say anymore because something about her is quite. There's something about her. We don't want to talk really about her.
I won't elaborate about her per se. Tapi since tadi pun saya dah tanya pasal bocu jutsu tu kan. And also since we are tadi pun macam Anri pun banyak dah sentuh about some questions regarding the power level and Gabimaru punya ni is jutsu, is dia punya ninpo, not part of the Tao ke benda semua kan. So just a little bit of somewhat difference lah. Aku nak ceritakan pasal the senjutsu that our heroes use and the Tencent use. Why is it different? It's because again, as I mentioned, our heroes they somehow boleh harness from training ke, betapa ke, disiplin ke, dia punya buta ke and accidentally dapat semua kan. Whatever the reason, they can harness senjutsu on a surface level. While the Tencent, again recap a bit, they minum tan concentrated punya senjutsu. The other thing that they do, yang kenapa Gabimaru walaupun dah tahu semua ni but cannot grasp what the Tencent are doing, is because of the concept of molding. So dalam dunia ni, or even in Taoism, you have yin and yang, right? So when you talk about yin and yang, you immediately think, balance. But actually more accurate than balance, kalau kau tengok the symbol of yin and yang tu, there's actually kinetic, there's actually motion. So it's not a rigid balance, but it's actually balance in synergy. Meaning there are the movement, but the movement creates kinetic energy, but it is in balance. So what the Tencent are doing, apart from drinking concentrated senjutsu, is that they also mold the senjutsu. Because when you mold the senjutsu, dia jadi even more potent than just petik-petik from the atmosphere or betapa and turning it into ninpo. So how do you mold ninjutsu? Or if you tengok the clue is in the bagua lah. The clue is in the bagua, and also the yin yang symbol is that you need opposites that moves in synergy with each other.
So in everything in this world, there's yin and yang, the sky and the earth, man and woman, and all these polar opposites and so on. In fact, kalau kau tengok the bagua as in you look at the yin yang tu, but you look at the patterns surrounding the yin yang, that's the bagua. You'll see that they actually opposite of each other tau. Macam this symbol dia ada dua baris straight, satu baris putus. Opposite dia will be satu baris straight, dua baris putus kan.
You mean those lines in circumference? Okay.
Yeah. So the whole thing is called a bagua tau. So kalau kau tengok, dia that rajah is all about difference, but it's not mirror image tau. It's not homogeneity tau. It's about opposites creating that synergy style balance. So the thing about the senjutsu or the Tao in this show is that putting together opposing forces and then making them balance in synergy is almost like a hydraulic dam generating electricity. And in this case, it's a hydraulic dam generating, limitless Tao. So the more you mold different things but equal and opposite and jadi balance like the yin yang symbol, they can generate more Tao. So dah lah dia pun drink concentrated Tao. So this is why despite Gabimaru boleh buat ninjutsu by just harnessing je Tao, it's nowhere near the level of potency of what the Tencent are doing. So based on that concept of balance, opposites creating synergy kind of balance, then you look back at what the Tencent are doing. Kenapa dia orang nak bertoron? Why are they switching between genders? That's why they do what they do.
That's the molding lah.
That's the molding basically. So they don't establish this thing up until now lah. But that's not all there is to it lah. This is a piece of why the Tencent is of a different level. Walaupun our heroes have actually been kind of adapt without realizing with the Tao, aka Senjutsu.
Yep. Okay. Now, the next bit of is my next question, which is this: kind of going back towards the story as opposed to explanation of stuff. I mean, I guess if we've gone 2 hours, almost 2 hours 20 minutes. Okay, this 2 jam lah tolak anime news tadi. With regards to this is one of my favorite bits in this season, which is the death of Senta. I thought it was a beautiful part of the story. A mixed match of his backstory of how he became an Asaemon, and the fact that he actually loves art and his at that time thinking that his love for Yuzuriha was unrequited, but actually she has noticed it all this while. I thought it was beautiful lah. And then the fact that I couldn't put everything in because otherwise aku ada 10 gambar dalam overlay ni. Tapi the fact that when death came to him, the images that he saw. I mean, just before that picture changed of her with the flowers, it was her with the parasol, with heads. It was so bizarre. It was so bizarre and grotesque. But at the same time, aku rasa poignant and beautiful. But anyway, before I started waxing lyrical here, Anri, what are your thoughts during this death scene from a I suppose intellectual, but more of a emotional or artistic point of view?
Plot-wise, I think it was evident that he's going to die sometime down the road because he knows too much and he talks too much, which is actually a trait of every story kan, those who know too much they die. They say curiosity killed the cat, and he's curious as hell. But I kind of disagree with you on this love that he had for Yuzuriha. I'm pretty sure he's fond of Yuzuriha, but it's not actually love, like I want to marry Yuzuriha. I think he admires her greatly because she is someone that he wants to be. Macam orang tak terpokong dengan undang-undang.
I meant it in a more general way lah. Bukan dia nak bertunang dengan dia ke apa. Tapi
he admires her and her freedom and the way that she interacts with the world lah. She's like tak ada filter, and that's what she is tau. And I think Yuzuriha kan respected Senta kan as a person that even the other comrades kan doesn't see him tau. They see him as a macam ni kan, but in front of her kan he actually gave his life up for her tau. So when he was dying kan, she didn't comfort him by lies. She just gave him to it straight because he's strong. He knows Santa is much stronger than what people can credit him for. So it was a beautiful moment. It was an honest interaction between two characters. Art-wise, it was done. You see a picture, it's beautiful. And when he was macam suffering kan, every second dia batuk kan, you see dia punya, you can sense kan, his time is running out tau. You can sense macam dia punya HP going into the red tau. So every movement that he made after kena cucuk dengan bunga tu kan, ada significance tau. So you can see the change. You know he's dying, and every time he laughs and talks and whatever kan, you can sense dia punya tone weaker and much more mellow tau. So kudos to the voice actor lah for actually doing that small tidbits tau. If you look back forwards kan, even when he was like macam usually like I said, remember apa yang gives you you know what gives you the most happiest memory kan. He remembers of the time when he was drawing or like at home dengan dia family kan. Tak ada kena-mena dengan Yuzuriha. It's just an honest interaction. I may like Yuzuriha, but I have no idea who she is now because I just met her now. So this whole transition when he's dying kan, it's not about love or anything. It's just about honesty and what you call that content basically. So that you see this picture here, right? It's not two characters in love. It's just that content. Santa is content with his life at the end of his journey now. So that's my point of view in terms of artistic punya value lah. A lot of people disagree with me on this. So it's just dia punya
these are opinions. That's what we call them, opinions. Everybody has one. But before we go on to Munif, Anri was mentioning about the voice actor. He's Yamashita Daiki, the guy who voiced Deku in My Hero Academia.
Now you know he's the emo guy. Kita tahu lah.
Memang kena.
Okay, Munif, your thoughts on this scene? And anyway, on Santa's role in this whole shebang, and also this is another death. I got dah mati dah. Anyway, go ahead.
So before we dive into Santa, just a reminder that yet another consistent consequence or casualty when facing with this busted Tencent. So continuing with the theme that these guys, their danger levels are not to be effed with. So on Santa and this whole Yuzuhira punya thing itself, when I read it and then actually bila tengok the animated lah, 2 kali aku terkesan. Pasal apa? So I can really relate to Santa on so many levels. Pasal apa? As a guy who like freaking hates his job, man. So macam I understand because I done the sama. Dia punya his passion number one is in
lukisan.
And that's literally me. So I've always I've grown up like daripada kecil so melukis and everything, and then as you grow up as you have to choose your universities and everyone's like, you like to draw, why not draw and be a professional, make money, jadi architect lah, whatever kan. And then you start to work and you find out that's not what it's all about at all. The artistry is gone. Everything is just, boring, calculated numbers, hafal legislations and whatnot. It's just killing your soul bit by bit.
Kau punya colleagues tak minat anime, I hope.
I actually do not care if because they totally know my stance. They know that I'm just like loathing every day I'm doing this shit. So yeah, so I understand. So bila dia tengok Yuzu, you know, she's like someone who has freedom. If there's something that he is in love with, it's with her free spiritness and freedom. So because it's like me. So shout out to one of my best friends in the world, one Matt Habil. You can find his Instagram. It's called Sliz, SLIZ. He's a really talented graphic artist, street artist, you know. So we study together tau dulu, so architecture lah, and then like and then he's like, fuck this boring shit, and he just risk it all and pergi like do all these street arts and shit, and also, you know, sometimes he gets a big payday, sometimes he's struggling or whatever, but like 100% of the time he's just living his life, living in the moment, don't know where he's gonna sleep at tomorrow, what he's gonna eat tomorrow, where he's gonna be the next 50 days pun tak tahu, but every day is just like, you know, doing artworks, meeting new people, just enjoying life. And I know that there are struggles to that life that maybe even I can't handle, but me from a little stupid, you know, cubicle, 10 p.m. at the office, drawing someone's bungalow that I'll never own, and then I'm looking at him like living his life like that, I fall in love with his courage to not be conventional and just embrace the free spiritedness. So that's my interpretation. I guess I'm self-projecting juga lah when tengok this scene lah. But I relate to it in that way. Like he's so like to a certain extent jealous of the person's freedom, but because that's everything you aspire to be, so you cannot help but admire the person. So at the end of the day, at your deathbed, you are there with that person you admire, with the kind of life that you wanted to be, and you became the person who protected that life, or that person who embodied that dream life of yours. So it's a bittersweet ending for Santa lah, and one which I completely related to in a, you know, regrets, professional career, adulting sense lah. So this was so good to me on so many levels because that was my interpretation of it lah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, nice. Anyway, so kita akan ke soalan yang seterusnya, which lah kesan sampingan penggunaan Tao dan Gabimaru dan perintah dari Shogun untuk pasukan gelombang kedua Al-Gojo Yamada Asaemon ke Shinsenkyo. Oleh itu, dengan soalan ni kita akan ke harapan untuk musim kedua Jigokuraku. Yep. Anyway, before we go on to we already have the we already have the trailer for this. Wrong cartoon. Enjoy this while you can.
Movie.
未来予知犬行きましょう家族旅行へ
Odekeke.
これが最後の警告です。
家族終わる。
この勝負勝たせてもらう劇場版スパイファミリーコードホワイト
地獄に落ちなベイビー。
Oof.
妻と生きると決めたんだ。
Okay, this is what I wanted to show. Actually.
妻と生きると決めたんだ。自分の生き方くらい自分で決めたい。
俺が死んでも二人は逃がす。
なんで見捨てるんだ。俺は戻る。
死をとした覚悟を無駄にできるか。俺は俺のやりたいようにやる。ここから先は父さん。
ただ生きて帰りたいってことに理由が必要。
僕仕事なんで。
もう誰も死なせない。
30 saat.
必ず生きてこの島を出る。必ずです。
30 seconds of what we already know, unfortunately, but nonetheless, it was what the studio sent out to announce that, yep, we're going to get a second season. Yes, saya satu benda saya terlupa buat sebelum kembali datang bercuti ni, nak find out where we are actually with regards to the manga volume. Do you know where we are at? I don't know, Munif. Are we halfway? Did you remember?
Well, since
kau tak ingat tak apa lah.
I think we are. Are we halfway? It's a safe bet to say that we are halfway lah, because it's safe if the second. That's the thing. If I remember correctly, it's not a spoiler that the second season, the shogunate is like already impatient and will send a second wave of assignment to assist on the island. If I remember,
see where we are at.
When I was reading the manga, I do believe when these bastards entered the island, that was like kind of to the final third already.
Final third.
Yeah, when the second battalion came, it was a final third or slightly before the final third, something macam. So this is why I believe we are probably cleanly at the midway, because it's one of those like short and sweet kind of stories lah. So which is why also at the same time all my points about how when I say macam tunggu this thing will be explained, this thing will make sense, all this part yang macam aku pun dulu complain eventually will make sense, is because it's easy to see that story dia memang pendek. So once it's done, you can kind of it's like everything is rationalized because it's within a relatively short period of time lah.
Okay, it says here that during Anime Expo 2023, Twin Engine, which is the studio that's doing this with MAPPA, officially announced Hell's Paradise Season 2 is coming soon, will likely contain 13 episodes like the first season. So it probably means this will be a 2-season job, and we'll see that soon sometime, but tak tahu bila lagi. So what's your harapan anyway for you for season 2? I mean, what's your advice for us? Are we getting will be blown by the seat of our pants or whatever?
Well, I guess like moving on from here, it'll go more into, is the term for it supernatural? I'm not sure, but basically, if you like the battles in the macam Claymore punya manga it'll go to that lah. But instead of monsters versus monsters, it's like monstrous people, humans versus these Claymore-like monsters lah. Which to me the dynamic is a lot more interesting. And kenapa aku refer to Claymore tu sebab as a creature feature fan, I do believe macam Claymore have some of the most gorgeous monster designs, which you will also see in Jigokuraku lah. The other thing, advice moving forward, kau tengok ni, is that I guess one of the things about the anime yang beza dengan the manga lah is that kenapa aku dapat tangkap juga macam why I really love the writing of this manga, and everything is not left to chance, everything is thoroughly explained and we're building dikemas semua. I think it's also because I read the thing. So bila you baca kan, if you even if you're sleepy, you baca and you're like, I can't remember the dialogue that I baca tadi. I just auto skip, and you actually go back a few times and baca properly. You have to read, you have to concentrate, so you really get these little things that they're saying that is actually is very organically revealing to you stuff that you've been scratching your head about now. So when it comes to anime, kadang-kadang you sambil tengok phone lah, and then maybe like ada orang panggil lah, and maybe you terteleng situ kejap lah. The animation doesn't stop for you. So tu kadang-kadang there's concentration issues and you might like miss out on some things. Padahal like I said, I promise you everything this show is going to make sense. When you've seen it in the entirety, it does make sense. Kalau if there's some things that you're still scratching your head over, you definitely missed out on something. So my advice is that, based on what I just told you, just maximum concentration when you're watching the show. So kadang take note of what they are saying while they are fighting, or even the little things macam kenapa, it's just avoiding Sagiri's attack and not anyone else. What's going on there? Why? What's Sagiri? And then Sagiri, yelah macam dia punya, you feel like very boring macam dia punya duduk dilema apa semua. So try to like really selam and listen carefully, like what is the dilemma actually? well, what's wrong with you? What are you saying here? And that will help you faham better that reconciliation lah. Because again, yang ni pun it's not a spoiler, but just like the many times I mentioned before, it is mainly about Taoism. It is about those bagwas surrounding the yin yang symbol that I talk about. Ultimately, the theme of the show is balance. So kenapa and balance not a rigid traditional balance like dua dengan dua or kaki sini berdiri teguh tak. It's balance in synergy. It's a chaotic balance. It's balance that has movement. So kadang-kadang it's not about you to be unmoving, but it's okay to move provided you move in balance. Something macam tu lah. So bearing that theme in mind and really listen to what they're saying, and there'll be a lot of people where you're like, you'll be more to, I see, this is what I see, that is why, instead of being the fuck is going on. Yeah. So betul macam cakap lah, I am helped by the fact that I actually read the manga. So aku memang nampak in its entirety the writing memang terbaik gila, memang power gila. But yeah, so try to get that same effect by really listening to what's being said in the anime. And one last thing, yang tu about my tips on how to help you guys enjoy the second season. On aku punya personal harapan pula, kalau tadi Anri bagi the legit comment yang kenapa lah all this tension nampak macam very plain, uncaring, indifferent, not emoting, macam tak ada motif pun, which aku pun dah sentuh dia ada sebab. But this mamat yang kau nampak in the picture, Shugen so aku berharap they really on the opposite of the Tencent kan, Shugen they need to show, despite this guy being a mortal man, how fucking scary and unhinged and very disturbing this guy is.
Sorry, who is?
Shugen. This guy.
The guy is going to lead the secret contingent.
Oh, the guy who's coming next. Kat bawah tu.
Let me just say this. This guy is second in the assignment punya rank. He is second. He is a big fanboy of the first.
And he'll be right pissed off lah when he get there. Shit.
Thou shalt see.
He's
so
rough.
He needs to be done right now. He needs to be. Ya ni tak ada reason for him to be some indifferent plain Jane now. Yeah. This guy, his psychoticness and unhingedness needs to be on full display. This one has no excuse kalau tak jadi macam tu.
And hopefully he'll be done right lah, looking at how they've done the other characters. But Anri, harapan anda untuk musim kedua?
Harapan. Okay, I like the spin on Kabimaru at the end when when he just realised kan dia tak ingat apa the rupa Yui tau, bini dia. So here we as the viewer kan are questioning, is Yui, is she a real person or is it just the
figment
idea yang ketua dia implant tau, like what usually suggested tau, because by manipulation is a sort of ninja strategi tau. So I hope we can get more light into that matter. Okay, opposite of the things that I usually hope, I do not hope that the second contingent have a lot of waifu characters coming in, cause I know anyone who went to that island is gonna get fucked and killed. So no more waifus, and hopefully Yuzuha and Sagiri panjang umur survive. I don't give a fuck about Mei, and that tomboy girl, I'm 50-50 lah. Hidup mati tak kisah lah. She is a tomboy plus petanko plus tan skin plus the hair is a minus, and it bothers me a lot. So that's why I'm 50-50.
Yeah. So straight hair, voluptuous, fair skin, old woman.
I don't care what straight hair. It's just that her hair can,
just going the opposite for what you. Yalah. Dia orang.
I mean, her hair reminds me of my hair. So it's this pisses me off lah. And I hope the presentation kan for the fights kan and whatever characters yang datang kan will be well done lah. I don't think we have time for any more personal issues or self-existence punya conflict or whatever it is lah. Right now everyone has to be all in or they'll have to end up all out within one episode. That's my harapan for next season.
Okay. Yeah, and I kind of do hope that not lah aku nak macam need to be like Walt Disney or Pixar or whatever, but I'm not one for. I mean, unless it's jarringly bad, I will notice how bad an animation is. I think the lucky thing for this thing is the story was good enough that I didn't notice anything until I did the preparation for each of the bedah session. You know, when you do screen grabs, you have to pause, rewind, and then you just notice like, bodoh juga animation. Some of it was almost hentai like where the same frame mulut je gerak, and you go like, oi, ni mapa kot. But then again, you know, as we know with how the shortage of stuff and you know it's legendary, blah blah blah. It's like it's the done thing, and you know the typical thing is they'll make it better in the subsequent physical release. I mean, it's not uniform throughout though. You know, it's like the same episode yang I say muka mulut gerak aja, and the subsequent fights like, it's quite nice, but. There you go, but
for MAPA's lofty standards, kan? I agree. For MAPA's lofty standards,
because it felt like
improve on that juga in the second season.
Yeah, it felt like half of the good stuff who did work good, the great work on Chainsaw Man, which in itself isn't perfect, it had called in sick because they were so overworked and leaving what's left to work on this one. And but that's me lah. But it was something like by the by, but it didn't detract the enjoyment of wanting to see the story from. But it's just like when you have the screen this close, masa kau nak buat screen grab, so you go like, Johnny animation dia. But there you go. Let's see what. It's not that many stuff. Category the great. I think he's implying that what we've seen thus far is only 1/3 of the manga. That's interesting. Or what we're going to cover next is only 1/3 left. You said it was 1/3 left, is it? We've done 2/3.
I don't know. I saw because maybe it's like time dilation sebab dah lama pun tak baca apa semua kan. But I do feel like it's kind of halfway lah. But I can't elaborate because there'll be spoilers. But because when they say second season, you know Shugen is coming, right? And then I really
do you think they can finish it?
Remember
they can finish it in 12 episodes, or is that stretching it a bit?
I think if they do it in 12 episodes, it'll be a bit tight lah.
You mean it's going to be longer lah?
I think it probably will be finished at a proper pace with maybe 3 seasons or two and a half lah, so to speak.
No, I believe it's going to be 3 seasons because season 3 they're going to say not season 3, final season or something like that lah, like Attack on Titan lah, something like that.
Macam like a showcase finale, you know, something like that, and so
we'll see. Okay, right. So we're done now. So thanks to you guys. Sorry, he said that. Category feels that season 1 is 1/3 of the story. So yeah, we should go well with
very well be the case also.
3 season theory. Anyway. So kita dah tiba di penghujung sesi bedah kita malam ini untuk season finale Jigokuraku Hell's Paradise, dan diharapkan anda di rumah terhibur dengan ulasan kami malam ini. Dan untuk sesi yang akan datang, kami berharap untuk memberi ulasan secara live stream untuk another finale, this time a total finale, which is the season 2 for Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. Then I can give you a forewarning that we had some interesting discussions pra live stream. So it's not going to be this coming weekend. It's going to be the weekend after that. It'll be 16 hari bulan Julai, hari Ahad, jam 9 malam waktu Malaysia. dua petang waktu United Kingdom, 1 petang Greenwich Mean Time bersama panelis yang terdiri dari Shazli, Tarmizi dan Myra. Anyway, so looking forward to see you guys in 2 weeks time. Dan kepada anda yang baru ke Sesi kami, jangan lupa untuk melanggan, berkongsi dan tenyeh butang like untuk kedua-dua laman YouTube STOMACHOFCHAOS dan BuzzPopTV, laman pop culture suka ramai Malaysia, supaya anda tidak ketinggalan untuk sesi kami yang akan datang. Dan jika anda ingin menonton sesi-sesi kami yang sebelum ini, selain dari arcade, kami yang mengandungi sesi ulasan stream yang penuh, laman YouTube STOMACHOFCHAOS juga mengandungi video ringkas yang mengambil tema spesifik dari perbincangan kami yang lampau. So sekali lagi terima kasih kepada sudi utama kami, kepada rakan peris saya Munif dan Anri. Thank you, dan also sama Desta to you guys for tonight. Dan saya Kudo Maharizu. Ijo desu. Mata today. Alright, good night guys.
Good night guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.